Hey, what's going on? It's Steve Van Diest here. We're here on the ThoughtXchange. I'm here with my co-host, Cameron Barkey.
Hey, Cameron Barkey here. What's up?
And we got BobbyT in the house.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
You go by Robert or Bobby now?
Either or. Bobby, Robert, either or.
Either or?
So we can go by Bobby.
Cool.
BobbyT.
So what have you been up to lately? You talked to like you're doing quite a bit of stuff.
Lots of stuff. Like before I have like my own company, Version Me Media, where we do a whole bunch of like content creation and video production. On sort of like the fun and entertainment side of things, still doing events. I've been doing these like Moet pop-up champagne parties, and so we have an event that's been coming up this year too as well. And then actually just recently for the local community, just became the public relations officer for a local non-for-profit called JANA, which is the Jamaica Association Northern Alberta. Okay. So got my hands a little bit of everything.
That's nice.
BobbyT, I got one question for you.
Yes.
Is it Moet or Moet?
Moet.
It's Moet?
Yeah.
Hard T.
Hard T.
Okay, cool.
I don't know why everyone says Moet.
I don't know.
Maybe you said it with like a French accent?
I don't know. Some people say Moet.
No, it's Moet.
But I hear Moet.
I know from the reps, they say Moet. I've never heard them say Moet.
Okay.
So
I hear Moet a lot.
That.
Anyways, I just wanted to clear that up.
Let's move a chair in a little bit, man. You're just pushing it back. There you go. Now you're in the shot. Yeah. So what else is up? What else is new? So
just been doing that. As of late, I've been really trying to get like kind of serious when it comes to sort of like content creation. So like podcasting has been caught my eye amongst like fun things and different things that's going on. And in addition to that too, I also have like my vlog, which ups and downs. You know, it's one of the hardest things is to be consistent and trying to turn things around while still working and navigating. And I know you guys know that challenge too as well.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So just been like kind of working that system, and then now it's been about 7 months. I recently got married. So
you got married?
Yes.
That's crazy, man.
So
how did it go?
Yeah. Oh,
like where did you guys go?
She said yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
These are good things.
Yeah. So I got married. My wife's name is Jessica Holtby. She's also an awesome, talented individual. Yes.
She have a brother?
Yeah, she has
plays
two brothers.
saxophone, Mitch?
Yeah, Mitch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Mitch Maddox.
Yo, Mitch Maddox?
So that's my brother-in-law.
Yeah, right. Mitch Maddox, your brother-in-law?
That's my brother-in-law.
Dude, that's freaking. Do you know Mitch Maddox?
Oh.
Dude, I'm getting hella stoked. That guy's a super talented musician.
Oh, insane. So
Mitch, if you're listening to this, you're dope, man. Like, straight up. Dude, Mitch is sick.
Oh, he's insane. So he's out in Montreal. But like he goes by Mitch Maddox. He was at one point here the poet laureate. And he's done so much in the city. Like he's done so much music. He's done so much like cool things. But yeah, Mitch Maddox and brother-in-law. So yeah, got married. Have a beautiful wife. She's amazing. Super talented. She's a teacher or a professor at the U of A. Okay. And she's now actually curating her own little brand where she herself's a singer. So she's doing kids music, and her brand is Singing with Cece.
Nice.
Singing with Cece.
Yeah. So she's focusing on kind of engaging kids through music, and then teaching them how to, like pronounce things through entertainment, and also, singing along.
So before the show started, you guys were talking about, since you brought up the brands, you guys talked about building your own infrastructures. What were you guys talking about there?
We were just talking about because Facebook and Instagram went down. My teachings in my teachings in marketing have always come from like You Incorporated.
Yeah.
It just Stevie, can we move this actually, because at 360 it's gonna be funky on it.
Oh yeah.
It's just because it's gonna block out BobbyT.
We're
just talking about like building your brand because. Bobby's got Mark Zuckerberg on speed dial. He calls him actually Marky. He's got Mark on. He's got Marky Mark on speed dial. But I was just telling him that Facebook, Instagram, all these massive platforms have enough. When you own the traffic, you pretty much essentially get the revenue.
Totally.
Right.
And like bottom line, what's interesting is like, yes, let's be honest. Right now, Instagram's hot. Everyone's on it. But like 3 days ago when Instagram was down,
what do these people have to offer anybody?
Where do you go if that's your only platform to do? So it's like super important to like build into other platforms, whether that's the YouTubes, your own website, and all those other like kind of areas, so that then if one goes down, you're not just stuck, or you're just not shitting the bed, so to speak.
Yeah, I'd say we're making a joke about all the Instagram models actually looking for jobs. Instagram, that shit drives me actually bananas.
Yeah, because like 3 days ago when everyone left, everyone went to Twitter because there's nothing else to talk or engage people, and the amount of memes that went on there were hilarious.
On Twitter?
On Twitter, it was gold.
Just beaking them?
Like everyone was just like going, like everyone was breaking down everyone, but like how it's like done, when it's off, like what to do. People are losing their minds. It's like they used everything. It was just gold. Like
how does Facebook go down? Like
it's just like any other system. It happens, man. Bugs. Someone could hack it. We have no idea.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
wondering if
servers go
someone
down all
hack
the
it.
time.
That's the
500
thing, man.
internal
Like something like that goes down, and like people just start losing their. What do I do now with my life?
I was going mental because I was trying to syndicate this content from the podcast, and I wasn't able to upload any of our videos, and I was like, ugh. I was getting mad, cheesed off, just because that's a big traffic source for a lot of businesses and a lot of people, right?
Oh, 100. Well, what's even crazier, just imagine like, so if you have some of those like, let's be honest, $1 million brands that are on Instagram who are channeling millions of dollars, I wonder how much money they lost that day, you know?
In
Yeah.
one day?
In one day.
Yeah, those guys that lose a lot of fucking money in one day because that's the amount of traffic that they have. Let's say you got 10 million followers,
Yeah.
and every data you use worth 20 grand or 50 grand or $100,000.
What do? You lose all that touch points? Like, what do you do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. That's kind of wild that these guys built these platforms out, and then when you own the traffic, you own everything.
Oh, 100%. But like, you know, like, and as we like are talking about this, like, you know, the owners of like the gateways, like that's just the next to impossible thing to like recreate, right? Because so many people like are always trying to create these other ecosystems or the next Facebook, and like how many of those, like, if you really think about like how many major platforms are there? 3, 4?
Does Snapchat even count? That thing's going down.
I'd count Snapchat though. Like there's like, and who
People
else?
stopped using Snapchat. They started using like.
They use it in
Instagram.
Instagram stories because Instagram kind of amalgamated Instagram and Snapchat into one.
True, but did you hear how? And I forgot what's her name again. That rapper who was Catch Me If You Can.
Cardi B?
Catch me outside.
Yeah,
The
Catch Me
Catch Me
Oh,
Outside.
Bad Baby.
Yeah, Bad Baby. So she just recently.
I don't even want to say that name on here. It's so bad.
But no, what's super interesting? So she just recently launched her own original show on the Snapchat platform, and then like in their own metrics and the only way they want to measure it, they were saying that that show had more viewers than the Kardashians on their debut
How does she get paid though?
by the amount of viewers. So let's be honest, Snapchat probably gave her a boatload of money because now there's tens of millions of people who are going to tune in every single time she posts that and then watch every single episode she does.
Jeez, who's watching that shit? Bunch of idiots.
Good.
man.
You, who watches reality TV?
Oh,
Who's
so
this,
Yeah, man. A lot
like,
of people watch
no,
that
it's
shit,
so
man.
bad.
What do you-
It's
like, if
bad
you-
for your brain. It's like what's that movie where everyone gets dumber?
Idiocracy.
Idiocracy. Yeah, that's where we're living in idiocracy. BobbyT.
It's where the world's moving, right? Like,
I
let's
know.
think about it. If everyone is like, we are the last generation who, you know, did not live and breathe off of just platforms.
I know.
So,
I
like,
used
what-
to play with sticks in the forest, man. Like
used to
after
go-
dark. Like I used to play.
We were
sword
talking
fights
about that
and
before.
shit.
Like nobody goes out and plays
street hockey.
like street
anymore.
hockey or goes outside or does any of that other stuff anymore. Like
And why would you?
like it's nice. Well, yeah.
It's just crazy. Like something like a video game like Call of Duty is so buck wild. As far as like when you think about it, you're killing someone else in a virtual world. But like you got like 12-year-old kids that are like, yeah, I fucking got him. I wouldn't be allowed to play that shit when I was 12. Like that's dangerous.
They're gonna get into that point where they're gonna start having avatars, and they're just gonna have people like controlling the avatars as they send them off to war.
what?
Maybe, yeah.
And the thing is that like it's gonna be really expensive to have war. Like humans are like, as weird as it sounds, as humans are dispensable. But like when you put a lot of money into a machine, they'd be like, I'm like, I don't want you killing my $1 million machine, right?
Well, yeah, like an F-18 fighter jets runs in the $50 million range, don't they? Or some of those are $1 billion. Like the crazy fighter jets are crazy. But anyways, what's our BobbyT, in your professional opinion? Because you are a professional. What's the next platform? Because you're talking about there is no Facebook. Oh, how are you going to recreate a Facebook? You're not. How are you going to recreate an Instagram? That's done. Twitter's kind of done. Like, what's the next progression, do you feel?
I really think the only thing that's ever going to challenge anything else is going to be like in the space of like VR.
Yeah.
Like, so once when VR is at scale, like when it's actually people are on it.
Yeah, but VR is going to end up turning in, like, I already know what's going to happen with that. Like, Google's going to take over VR because they're already. So right now,
And
the way
Facebook.
VR works
And
is like
Facebook,
those,
yeah.
you can look at a picture and then you can get the augmented reality.
Totally.
So Google already has all of the photo data
To-
because they take pictures of all the streets. So when you wear the Google glasses,
Things
you'll
can
now
pop
be able
up.
to walk and shit's going to pop up to you. And people are really going to be like, whoa, this is the coolest. So people are going to buy those Google glasses so they
100%.
can get, it's the weirdest thing. You're going to buy Google glasses to get marketed to. And then everybody's store is gonna have to
A
basically
little pop-up thing on it.
pay to get a little pop-up thing that like have like a virtual greeter that like, so when you walk down 104th Street, you know, this person goes, hey, and they wave over to you, go, how you doing?
And then you're
Get
going to have
this
to pay
stuff,
for an
blah,
ad
blah.
blocker to block that bullshit out.
Or take the glasses off.
but you know what? That is like 100% true because like AR is gonna be like pretty crazy. I don't know if you guys have dabbled into sort of what they're doing, but like soon, even too from the reverse side of that.
Yeah.
Like imagine like someone who owns like a restaurant, and when you walk into a restaurant, you put on these glasses, and you can see like all the customers, who's your like high like value worth customers from like your first time customers.
Yeah.
Like that place it's gonna be crazy. Wow. It's gonna happen too.
Are you
on
serious?
the glasses, so you're gonna see
how much this guy actually spends.
100%. And when's the last time you bid? And like when I walk up to you, I'll know your whole history and profile to then form like a relationship with or pick.
Well,
up
they're
on
doing that
last
right now in
discussion.
China, right?
100%.
So in China they got the social media
credit
experience,
score,
and they can see
that's
people's. So they're watching people 24/7, and they create a credit score. It's like that Black Mirror episode.
That's sort of what I'm wondering if someone really tuned into Black Mirror. It's like
in China and was like,
yeah,
"Yo,
it was like,
do this shit."
yo,
No,
we should
I
actually do this.
I think
it was the other way
I think it was the other way around. I think somebody saw it and then like
took it from like through the Black
China,
Mirror.
yeah. Someone like
someone was in China and
producer
said,
was
"Yo,
we
like
can
yo."
make an episode about this because this is fucked.
Well, that's completely fucked though.
But a lot of that stuff is logical, like in terms of the sense, like yeah, I can see them doing that. Like the whole thing with the military stuff, where they put a chip in your brain to make you perceive your enemy as something like beastly.
Okay, I never
and
heard.
separated from yourself.
It was a Black Mirror episode.
So when you
Okay.
when you see them, they look like a vicious beast.
Yeah.
Because your brain is getting that hallucinogenic
fucking interesting.
kick into your brain to make you think that. So you'll kill them without any remorse or thing. You just feel like, but yet there's a digital block that's going on.
Totally, and then I'm seeing, and because of all those like prequels into things, because of like Black Mirrors and other movies, I'm just curious. I don't know if we're smart enough to know better.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, like I remember how it's still going up and down pop culture, like everyone getting microchips to quickly scan people.
Yeah.
and
That's
I think,
gonna happen.
And I would always thought that like people would be not dumb enough to like say like no, let's not do this. But then I don't know. When I see, do you guys have like that one TSA quick skip line? What's that thing called again?
Nexus Pass.
The Nexus
Nexus
Pass,
Pass.
when
You
you
guys have
can,
Nexus
they do
Pass?
the
No, I
retina
don't do
scan.
Nexus Pass for that reason.
Nexus Pass?
No, I don't do it. I don't
No,
have it.
and I don't have it either.
Check it. When I ever go to an airport, I don't even go through that little 360 scanner. I'm like.
No, I asked them to do a
I
pat
do a
search
body
too.
I want
search,
a
and then
pat-
I end up in
so-
the fucking weird room. And the guy's like, "Oh, we have one of these assholes now," and then they speak in their little thing like, "We got a code 642." Right? Some asshole that thinks he's better than us. Like, then I end up.
He doesn't want to go through the
He doesn't wanna go
scanner.
through the scanner. This guy's from Illuminati.
I'm not down for any of that. I'm not down for the Nexus Pass. No one should have my eye
Your
retina,
eye retina
Dude, but
my
all-
blood. Like,
But this is so. These are the things and I don't fucking understand how people do not see what's going on. Like on the bigger picture, I'm like,
Check.
why are you sending your stuff to Ancestry.com? They're collecting everyone's DNA, and people don't understand that they're collecting your DNA, and they're plotting it, and they're creating all these data forms with all the DNA.
100%, they're selling that.
They're
selling that.
they're
in the
selling
back.
that
I would
DNA on the
sell
back
it if
end.
I owned it. Like, wouldn't you? Like, if you were in that position, like, you could sell that to government agencies. You could sell that for anywhere.
Anyone, and you can get bloodlines around everything. So no, it's like totally like I don't know. I totally agree about sort of some of those things. And there's like like there's like little secrets or little like hidden masks around everything. Like the fees, and I don't know what the exact fees are around hidden ancestry like website, but like it's not that much money. So you could tell they're making their money off somewhere else.
Yeah. It's like $9.95 to get ancestry.com.
Yeah, send us your DNA and your blah blah.
That's just probably to cover the cost of shipping.
You know what? People should just start sending them DNAs of their dog.
As a troll,
Massive troll. Everyone just pay $9.95 and send them like, so they do all of the research work. Go, yo man, this guy's a canine.
I'm pretty sure I bet someone has probably done that.
Yeah,
And they
but I
probably
like
just have-
we should like a lot of people do that. Like if like millions of people just send them like their dog canine stuff.
Who owns ancestry.com?
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah, because who are you sending that info to? Because that cocksucker's selling it to somebody.
Good question.
That's a government thing for sure, man. Like that's like it's not even like a government thing. It's one of those branch out societies.
Totally.
Like they like where like it looks frozen.
That's okay. No, it's fine. It's your laptop here.
Yeah. So yeah, like that's a interesting. Like I'm worried about like there's that whole vaccine thing that's going on too, but like that's getting scary as well. Like we were all vaccinated when we were kids.
Totally.
Like we all had to go through that vaccination and be like thing. And I get it, like in a sense that it only works because you have to basically have the whole collective to basically do it.
Yeah.
So that way it has no way to spread. So if there's pockets and stuff, it doesn't work because you got some people and then it just turns into a super bug.
Yeah, and it morphs and things like that.
But to say it's a mandate and to basically like force, like when you're breaking the skin barrier, that can't be mandated. Like, because then the next thing you're gonna do is that like when they can inject nanotechnology.
Totally, mandate microchip you.
Microchip, dude. Every baby is born. They don't even ask. They like boom.
Totally.
They set it up right away. Like even right now, like it's crazy how like every single one of us has a barcode attached to us. We all have a barcode.
100.
Like,
in what context?
Social insurance number.
Oh fuck, that is true. So once you scan that magical number, then suddenly I know exactly
who you are and everything about you. And it's so funny though because it's like we give the information voluntarily. It's like the government's not actually looking for you.
Yeah.
They're not looking for you. They only look for you when you
disappear?
fucking submit something. You submit something and then they get a paper and go, hey, wait a minute. I don't have this guy in my records book. What's going on? And they start asking questions. If you never submitted anything to them and they never let them know that you even existed, they would never find you.
Do you guys think you could do that in 2019?
Oh, it's tough.
Be totally off the grid?
You could, yeah. We had a talk with Atiano Chibe.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you know Atiano Chibe?
Yes,
Yeah, you
yes,
do.
yes.
Yeah, we had that talk.
Do you know he's white?
Yes. we had a big conversation about that when he was bringing that back.
Dude,
We lost Cameron.
I just sent him a message. I was like, my white brother, what's going on? So it's too much. You know he's a white. He's too much. Yo. I love it. I actually love it because it's true.
Yeah.
Like that's what he has on paper, and it's like so badass that he does that. Like it's
100%.
brilliant. You got to talk about it.
No, it's like so when he was first, bringing this to like a lot of people's like minds in front of the line, like it was a big, huge conversation. He had like a huge round table. There was like maybe 20 or 30 of us.
What, in a table?
Oh, not in a table, but like we're all just meeting up.
Are you serious? Like
And
in
then he had
one
these-
shot? Like he's trying to
And then
spearhead a movement?
and then he had these like two guests who were just breaking down sort of the cause.
I remember that.
what
You
it's all
guys did
about.
that. You guys did that at the Yellowhead Brewery, I think it was, or no, something like that.
Wasn't the Yellowhead
Or no,
Brewery.
you guys
It was in this.
at the startup building, wasn't it?
It wasn't a startup. It was another community hub that's right
Okay.
above. Holy cow! Right above Blair's spot, the Red Star there.
Okay, yeah.
That little,
there's a subway up there, isn't there? And
No, like that
That's
start.
next door.
No, that right next door is like that startup. Was a barbershop on the bottom floor.
Oh yes.
And there's
I know
all
which
stuff.
one. Yeah,
it was
I
in
know.
that building that he held this
Yeah.
little meetup.
are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah, it was interesting.
He didn't invite me.
Because you're given. It was given.
You know what though? I don't even think it's given as much. Like I think it's more generational than anything because it's a generational thing. Like even in Canada, it has nothing to do with the color of your skin or it has to do with how long you've been here. So
Totally.
like people who have been here for only one generation are getting their asses kicked.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking. You're climbing this ladder and you're trying to climb up and build wealth for people who've been here for 4 or 5 generations.
Yeah.
Well,
Right, and those people have already accumulated 4 or 5 generations of wealth. Right,
100%.
like so, like now all of a sudden you got those people who have all that
not
wealth.
many people have been here for 4 or 5 generations, though. But you're more so talking about being off the grid type stuff, right? It doesn't matter what color you are, black, white, purple, orange,
Yeah,
green.
yeah.
If you go off the grid, they're gonna be cheesed off of you.
Well,
Like it doesn't matter what you are.
I just don't know if you can.
You can.
You can disappear. I
You
think.
can. You
like,
need enough money to do it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Like you need resources, right? You can't just go off the grid. You
Well,
have to
I think you have to do like a ghost, like keep yourself, separate yourself, like
Yeah.
exactly how we did it. Separate yourself from your government self.
Yeah.
Send your government self over here.
Yeah,
Let
while
it
you-
just fuck around, do nothing, be really poor, and then just fuck off.
Totally.
And just go and like you're not even part of that. And if anything happens to this government thing, you come back and you act as a representative to that person.
And that's when like Revenue Canada is just waiting. Is hope. Like I can only imagine the case that they get on their decks.
Yeah.
But man, I bet if Revenue Canada knew that you're building this out here, they're like, okay, well, how did you pay for all of this? Oh, where's our cut out of this?
Yeah.
No, that's gonna
And
be
then
a
that's
fun.
when- and
That's
then-
when shit gets wild.
Oh, I can only
It's
imagine.
like the mafia, man. Like I was watching all this stuff too with with the British monarchy, and I'm just like, they own everything. You have the Vatican at the top, who has like all the money, and then you have the British monarchy, who has the rest of the money. And then basically I'm just like, how does this British monarchy, who have a little tiny little spot?
Well, we still pay money.
That's
to
what
the
I'm saying.
Commonwealth,
Like,
you know,
we pay them. Everyone, New Zealand
we pay
pays
taxes.
them.
Right.
New
That's,
Zealand
that's,
pays.
that's what I was telling you the other day. That's why the states became so powerful, is because they had the revolution, 1776. They separated themselves. Like, fuck you, red jackets. We're gonna.
Yeah,
have
but people
they had the Civil War.
And this is where it's like scary,
And then they
because
got
the
a
thing
bunch
is
of
that, like,
slaves to build.
who runs?
True. Yeah, free labor.
Who runs the military? Like, we think it's a Canadian military. It's not a Canadian military. It's a British Army military. Like, they use Canadian soldiers, but the people that control you are running under the British monarchy. They're the ones that basically get
100%.
controlled and paid from them. And then, like, you're working also with the British Army as well. So, like, you can't even basically say, no, we're not doing anything. They say, okay, military, police, army, everyone comes in and takes over, right? And says, you better start paying up those dollar bills, yo. 'Cause the queen
100%.
needs some money to spend, you know?
It's not easy being the queen.
It's
you
not
know?
easy being the
You
queen.
see that picture of the queen recently? She's got a gold piano behind her.
No.
Who the fuck needs a gold piano? But yeah, there's a picture of the queen
Yeah,
talking
that's
about like
that's
just a
how
soft-
she's taking care of her people, is with a gold piano.
kind of badass. Like a gold piano is
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Like, was it like a solid gold?
Solid
too?
gold piano, yeah. It was like it was ignorantly opulent.
Was it like just like shining, just like glow, just like hit her in the face? Like, so can't even really play on it.
Yeah, pretty much you can because
You can't. It's too heavy.
Yeah, you can't even
every
move
time
it,
you
it's
push
too
it,
heavy.
he's like, "Don't touch it," because every time you push it, you put a dent into the keys.
Yeah, because it's that pure gold. That's how soft it is. The piano wasn't even in the shape of a piano. That's it. It was like
They just molded it.
they just molded
made
it every day. Some poor serf has to like mold the piano every day because
We laugh about it, but there is a gold piano.
yeah, there was a
somewhere
gold piano.
It's
somewhere in the
actually
world. There is a gold.
It's on the freaking thing, man. Like, and she's talking about like it's
gotta
tough
check it
economic times, da 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 da. But they made memes of it, and it's just her talking. Like she put some post up. It wasn't even her representative. Her took the picture,
Yeah.
but there's a gold piano in the background. And you're
Was that like on her gram? Like, does the queen have Instagram? I haven't looked.
I
got
think
your
she
phone? Who's
just
got a phone
recently
out
got
right
on, like, someone says she just recently made a post on an Instagram
Oh,
post.
that's hilarious.
She just recently got on Instagram, because I remember Jacqueline Bailey basically posted something
Yeah.
about the queen and her
Taking a
Instagram
selfie or
post.
something.
Yeah,
that
I was
would
just
be
like,
that would be hilarious. That would be actually insane.
I honestly think if you, and this is the way you kind of have to fight the system, is that you almost need to create mini communities and get away from globalism.
that shit's not gonna work though.
The problem with globalism is that you have someone in fucking like Austria and like this G7 making decisions about you
Yeah.
that don't even know who the fuck you are.
Totally.
You know, and don't even care about what it is, and like they're not making decisions for you. They're making decisions on how to like get you to pay them
Yep.
so they can continue to live the lavish lifestyle that they have, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't need those people. Like
Because have you guys seen like how like what's been going viral a little bit is like Kanye's little Sunday sessions or Sunday sermon
those things
sessions.
are hilarious.
Like those things, they're crazy. But then like that's on his like property or his land, so he has a place that's just like all just land
yeah.
that he just has. Like I'm really curious what he's built up on there, and I'm sure no one really knows.
There's a lot of people that do that, just get land and just like get off the grid.
Oh, totally. Or at least have that option to get off the grid.
Yeah.
Dude,
Dude,
their own stuff.
I went. I've told Steve this before, but I went to a mentorship group with some guy who I'm not gonna name names or anything like that. But the guy lives in like whoever's listening to this will know who I'm talking about. But he lives in rural Texas in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. But he has he lives with a mountain. There's a well of like fresh water. He's got like I don't know how many tens of thousands of acres of land.
Yeah.
Completely off the grid. And I was there for I think like five business days.
Okay.
And he's got I don't know how many properties on the place.
Yeah.
He's got like this swimming pool which is so dope. There's like 12 different pools that all go into his they all just kind of drain down into like this lake that he imported Brazilian
and that doesn't
sand
even
from.
cost you that much. Like
Oh.
really, once you're off the grid, it doesn't cost
but-
you much to do it. You just have to
maintain.
You just have to get the guys in there to basically build it for you, and like you're
100%.
just paying like labor and like, but cheap.
The thing he has though is he has like massive walls surrounding the whole thing, completely self-sustaining, but it's guarded by Navy SEALs, ex-Navy SEAls, like guys like private.
Okay, that costs money though.
Yeah.
when you're when you have a private military, like guys are running a private military. That's like those
Yeah,
guys get paid big butts,
like
bro.
special ops type guys to make
Yeah.
sure that people don't bum rush them. But dudes who are on that level know that something's going down. Like they're like, yo, but the only thing you can't make on his place is sugar. That's it, because he doesn't have the facility.
You don't need sugar. That stuff's poison anyway.
Yeah.
It's like
That's so interesting.
Yeah. It's just the environment that has everything. But like I sat down with homeboy, like dudes like this, and they're just like, they know what's good. They're like, yo, I'm off the grid. Like I nothing to do. I learned a lot in those.
Yeah. Well, being in the city, this is like everyone's like, oh, it's overpopulated. It's just because there's too many people to control. That's what it is. But like, there's lots of space.
Oh, 100%.
It's just everyone's just crammed into cities, and when you're living in cities, you're actually like, you're enslaved to the city. It's only when you get out of the city that you can actually slow down and stop. You know,
100%.
like.
And I relate to that. Like whenever you go on vacation somewhere and you get off like the rat race, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's when the world slows down, the days slow down, everything seems to go a lot slower. While when you're working day to day, everything's so much faster.
Yeah.
And things like that. And like it's funny, as much as people are always saying like, yes, we're so packed, or the cities are so jammed. I mean, those two major countries like India and China just represent, like, those are jammed countries and nations. In comparison to Canada, there's so much.
They're
there's so much room.
Is that the gold piano?
And like the capture of the photo was some bullshit like, oh, it's tough times and we all need to hold together. Yada, yada, yada.
We're signing this piece of paper, you know.
Kidding
And like the
gold.
I wasn't kidding about a gold piano.
I was watching the one video on Netflix. And like they had like this, like they do these ceremonies where they take their photos, like family pictures, and like everyone kind of comes together, and they do it every year in their annual photos. So it's like they have a schedule. They have a schedule of times where they're supposed to get together and do these certain things.
The
royal family.
Yeah.
And there was this one photo. They were taking these family photos, and like they were watching. So you had like the royal family. It was for the Queen's 90th birthday, and they basically were putting together home video footage.
Yeah.
And the kids were talking about when like they're running around, like Prince Charles and William. They're running around, and they're like, "Oh, I so remember that day." They're like, "Look at all that bling." Everyone had diamonds, man. Like you watch this stuff, and like there was like 30 women there, and it was all going bing, 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 bing. Like they were just covered in diamonds, and I'm just like, I'm just like. This is one family that's just basically just chilling and just like they just run the military and
dude, they're caking. They're caking on another level of cake.
When you literally are taking a tax off of everything.
Everything.
I can imagine like every nation's people.
Yeah, they don't even worry about the tax off us. They just tax Canada as a whole. And they say, "Oh, Canada, you have to give us 10%." What? Canada, you have to give us 10%. So Canada has to send 10% or whatever like they're sending.
Yeah,
like, what is the tax for Canada?
Well, yeah, and I'm wondering how much do they actually make a year? I forgot. I remember when that whole marriage ceremony and everything that's happening. I think they broke down, but I forgot what that stat was.
I remember
how much
that.
they make like just a year.
I remember that ceremony and they broke that whole thing down.
Yeah.
When who got married? What's Prince William and who?
No.
What's the girl's name?
Mary, was it Kate Winslet?
Kate, yeah,
Winslet?
not Winslet. No, not Kate Winslet. There's Kate.
Middleton.
Yeah. Middleton, yeah.
Middleton.
Yeah, but like because like they have some duties and they have to like do this stuff, or they have to go to these charities.
That's a tough life, man. I mean, you got to go to some charities and you got some duties, and some guy wipes your ass. Like, that's tough.
Well, did you watch the whole thing about Princess Diana?
No.
They were really worried about her because like she was the people's princess, right?
Oh, okay.
So like all of a sudden, like you got this royal family that's kind of low key. Nobody really knows who they are. They're there. They're the royals, but nobody gives a shit about them. Then you have Princess Diana, where everyone's just like they loved her. So everywhere she went, they had cameras and paparazzi, and they were like constantly bombarding her all the time.
Yeah.
Because like they would put her on the tabloids every day, and they would sell. So she was like the first person to like start like that paparazzi tabloid type of stuff.
Totally.
Where they just constantly chasing her all the time.
Yeah.
And so then she eventually just got like fed up with all of that stuff, and then started doing like humanitarian missions and like bringing the cameras to like
different parts
third
of the world.
world countries. And
actually, that's super
and
smart.
It was super smart.
Because she was bringing more attention to what's going on
she's
around
bringing
these
way more
areas.
attention to what's going on, but then she was also ruffling a whole shitload of feathers that were just like that people just didn't like, right? Because like some of the military, like, because she was the people's princess, right?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, the guys who were like controlling all of the military and the mines, all of a sudden now you have this big, huge tsunami wave coming at them, and now they're basically like
a bright light just showing.
bright light shining. Like they don't, like people who are in power don't want they don't want the light on them. They don't like.
They want to keep things.
They want to keep things quiet,
or
like,
at least controlled.
Yeah, people in power. You know what they do? They hire politicians to do their work for them, and every 4 years they just replace them, and then they replace them. But the ones that are actually paying for them to be there are the ones that are truly in power, right? And like we think it's a democracy and this and that. But I'm like, it's not, man. As soon as you have this column-based system where all of the power is coming from the top, you got a problem. That's why it's got to be state-based or like community-based and like.
Totally, and I think a lot of people obviously, I'm sure there's not a single successful person who like truly believes government is like government's going to stop them from doing what they're doing or like help them to do what they're doing. It's on you as an individual to like get the ball rolling and accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and build a community. Like I think like this. Okay,
Steve, you're on that community shit, eh?
That's what it's all about, bro.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. If you
that seems a little hold hands and
no, I'm like it's
you're
the
like
same
little
thing.
Hold hands shit. Man.
It's think of it like this: is like a corporation is a form of a community.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a type of community.
You don't like Walmart. You get mad at Walmart all the time. That's a community.
Why are these guys? Where'd you get that from?
It's just like this. So like
you don't
my first business was a clothing store, and like me and my business partners when we opened it, we weren't part. Like we opened it on 124th Street, and we were never part of a community.
Room 322.
Room 322.
Yo, that's a sick spot. Yo, did you know he did that?
No.
Dude, room 32.
Yeah,
the foot. The logo was a foot.
Yeah.
Yo, now it's what's it called?
It's now Articade. It's
Articade,
like I think it's like a vegan restaurant or something.
Fuck that out of here, man. Like your shit was way doper, man.
But part of the reason why what came to our destruction around that was we just were not part of any community. We weren't part of like the 124th Street community. We weren't part of, to be honest, the fashion community here in Edmonton. Like we just decided one day to open up a clothing store. And then we started meeting different people. We started meeting different circles. We started meeting a bunch of fashion heads or different sneaker heads around different things, and it was way too late. Versus if we were part of a community, if we had like a bunch of like enthusiasts who loved certain styles of fashion we were bringing in.
That's where the power comes from, man.
100%.
Like the power is people coming together. Like, and you're like, oh yeah, you hold hands. I'm like, no, man. It's common people coming together and taking care of their own, like creating tribes.
100%.
And creating tribes and helping each other, because like that's how you really make change. Like that's how you really, because if all of a sudden you have a strong community or like a strong street, strong family, strong community, strong city, strong province, right? Kind of works in that way. But if you trying to think a province is going to control, like if you don't have the strong fucking community, and the province don't give a shit about you, man.
Totally.
They don't.
Or to be honest, anyone of power doesn't give a shit. Period.
They don't.
Until you have like a bunch of people rallied up behind you.
And then they'll change their political view to basically rally up this group of people. They'd be like, I need those people in my group, so
100%.
I'm gonna say what you're gonna want me to say, you know.
100%, or they'll actually even just listen to you.
I'm wondering if like can independents run for the provincial election?
I don't know.
Like, or do you have to be part of a group?
No, I think you have to be part of a group.
No, you can go independent. Look at all the people you vote for. There's like some people who just go on as troll shit.
Because
like they just do.
They're not just super small parties.
No, they're like the names of them are like the elephant group of.
Okay.
Like some like troll shit.
Yeah.
Like realistically, it would be good to vote for independent people. Get a whole shitload of independents in there that just basically like go there. They won't be able to get anything done. Yeah. I'll be honest. They won't be able to get anything done. But if you get someone in there that's a full-blown independent, that's like a whistleblower, you know? Like they're literally in there and like have a voice, and every time they come out of a meeting or come out of yo, man, this is what's going down, man. These people are doing this, and
That's not gonna fly, man. No one's gonna vote for that shit.
What do you mean no one's gonna vote for that shit? The people vote for that.
They're too dumb to vote for that. They're just voting for what they know. It's marketing. They see blue, conservative. They see orange, NDP. They see purple, Wild Rose. They see red, Liberal. Like, it's just marketing at that point.
I don't know if that could ever get to that point of someone actually making it through, because I think everything would be against them. The funding would be against them. The marketing would be against them. Probably whatever policies would be against them to make sure they're not, like, you know, they'll catch that loophole to just kill that momentum if that was ever to happen.
Yeah, but that would be ideal.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Could you imagine you get like an independent in there, and every time he comes out, he just basically spews on every he goes, yeah, this is what they're doing, and then this is what the NDP are doing. This is what the Conservatives are doing.
The guy's gonna have an accidental crash driving across the high level bridge.
I don't think Canada's
No,
not
Canada's
that,
not that bad.
tip.
I know, but
they're getting more on the American style. Like the one thing I used to like about the politics is like they didn't stoop down to the American style of politics. Now it's getting into that like before
where they just say it's so cheesy.
they
how
say
they just beak each
they
other.
just beat each other now and
totally.
just throw out dirt on the other person. I'm just like, instead of basically going out and saying this is what we stand for and this is what we're gonna do and this is our policies and this and that, they go, this guy's an idiot, blah, blah,
Totally.
blah.
Oh, do you know he did this, or she did this?
Yeah.
But you know what, too, though? But the sad part, that's our fault, because we pay attention to that.
Yeah, we
more.
pay attention to that. BobbyT, what's the thing though? How? Okay, if Coke were to say that about Pepsi, there'd be a massive lawsuit. You can't.
No,
like,
they do that on purpose.
No, you
though.
can't
They
say
play.
that. You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to. Like, if you're a big brand, you can't say.
So
bad
there was
poorly
that
about
one
brand.
Super Bowl commercial that was super controversial because I think it was a Coke commercial that mentioned Pepsi.
Didn't they used to do
And
taste tests?
and it wasn't in a negative note because they would never say the
They
competitor.
would never say the.
They never
competitor.
say it, but it was obvious they'd have the red can and the blue can. You know.
And the reason why is they can't.
That was the way
You
around it.
can't say anything negative to that because then that could be like inflammatory.
Libel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like this one said something. They mentioned it, but they didn't mention it in a negative context, and it was like crazy that they're doing that. But like Coke and Pepsi are now, like, let's be honest, they're a lifestyle. Like their culture. Like they're no longer competing. I guess it could be for dollars and cents,
well,
but they're not.
they what they really have and what where their real money is their distribution network.
Oh, 100%.
They have a distribution network that's worth money. Like the product
The product's
itself.
worth money too.
No, but the
It's
product,
worth
the
money.
product,
brand is worth the money.
the product is the thing. But it all comes down into the distribution.
100%.
They have all the trucks, they have all the locations,
All
they
the
have all the
infrastructure.
stores, they have all the infrastructure in place.
Well,
Well, do they
That's
own their
what.
own trucks? Do you know that?
Yeah, they own all that stuff, bro. It's Coke, bro.
I guess
They-
they would.
Pepsi,
Yeah.
they
I don't
own-
know. I've never
they
looked
own all
into
of
the
that.
analytics of Coke. I
They
don't
own
know
all
if
of it.
they
That's
own
why.
their own
That's
shit.
why if someone's like, for instance, vitamin water says like is a small little thing, and they say, yeah, we like your product, we think we can sell it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, we're just gonna give you a residual. You're
in.
less like,
Yeah, or-
yeah, I made it. You know.
Or I was gonna say like what like you name. I forgot how many brands are housed under these brands, but like they own everything. It's just a matter of time. Whenever that infusion of like drink and cannabis happens,
Well,
you best know Coke's gonna buy or acquire or have their own version or brand offshoot brand
Yeah.
of infused whatever.
Yeah,
It's a matter of when, not if.
They're yeah. How many companies own all the food control now? 8, 5,
I don't know. There's like 5 or 6 of them.
5 or
I
6.
think
5 or 6 companies own every single thing that we buy in the
Oh,
supermarket.
totally. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it just
Like-
keeps going up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just with
Like,
some like
at one point, when's it gonna be? Like, these companies have more money than countries, bro.
Well, 100%. That's why you can't. That's why you cannot challenge them. Like a lot of people are like confused when you look at like. I mean, if you think about it, like the cliche, like major companies who are sort of like hot topics, like like Facebook, Spotify, like these are all like apps
Yeah.
that have money as countries.
Yeah.
Which is mind-boggling, and like that's when they're all. I mean, that's when you make change. You do what
Yeah.
the hell you want to do.
Just move a chair in closer, man. You
sorry.
keep pushing that put back.
keep-
You
I
can
keep
watch
moving-
yourself
I
there.
keep moving it out
you see,
on the shot.
Yeah, you see where you're. No, it's true. Like what ended up happening in the olden days. This is how companies used to grow. When a company got bigger, and like Coca-Cola, for instance, as it grows bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, they need more people to sustain that infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is the company gets bigger. There's more money traveling through the company. There's more people making money in that company.
Yeah, in terms of all employees and stuff.
Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Google, these platforms are system-based, like analytic-based platforms, and they grow, but they grow by getting more people, because that's what they're selling, that's
Yeah.
their product. But they don't need more people to control.
There's no more resources.
So you have a small group of people, like maybe let's use small numbers. Let's say an old corporation would have had to have 10,000
Yeah.
people, and this company only has like 500 people
100%.
in a ratio, and they taking in more money than that 10,000 people did. So and the 500 people that they're paying in that company, they're not seeing like a percentage of that money.
Oh,
they're just
no.
getting a paycheck.
They're just
you
getting
know?
their paychecks cut every day.
Yeah,
They're
and I'm
good.
just like, and the guys at the top, they have so much money that they don't know what to do with it.
Totally.
Like they can't even spend it all.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and these guys are hoarding all of the
100%.
funds.
Because if you think about like one of the biggest groups and one of the things that I think everyone's doing now is like they're ordering their food through all these platforms like Uber Eats and Skip.
Yeah.
And like Skip charges like people for like a percentage, and they charge all the restaurants percentage to manage their stuff. Like they're just laughing. They're not even the ones delivering.
Oh,
totally.
They're like, oh, and you have to pay the delivery guy.
100%.
I'm like, you just use our platform.
So they're laughing about that. And as they're building all these like crazy businesses, like they're just building at scale, and more and more people, they come onto it. Soon you have to, and then they're like basically where I've like said to like a few of my restaurant clients, like you have to be careful. Like brands like Skip the Dishes, Open Table, all they're doing is they're just positioning themselves between these restaurant customers, and then everyone has to pay a toll booth.
Yeah, they're the middlemen. They're just putting themselves in the middle, and they're just making it convenient for
100%. And killing it.
Yeah.
And soon restaurants cannot. There's nothing they could do.
Yeah.
Like you have to, or else then you're not gonna get your reservations, or you're not gonna get your amount of sales or orders that are coming in. So what do you do?
That's gatekeeper shit, though. That's where that's smart. That's classic Warren Buffett. Invest 100%. In gatekeeper companies. I don't know. I think that's pretty dope. But my background's restaurant stuff like that. It's crazy. Bring up Skip the Dishes. This is something that happened to me a couple years ago. But one of the founder dudes of Skip the Dishes asked me to help build his company with him when he was just starting it out. I had about a half-hour talk with him, and he tried to explain to me. He's like, I'm so pissed.
That was a big opportunity.
He didn't explain it well enough. I didn't get it. He was like, and then they like, we don't have to, like, we'll just deliver it, and these guys will come, and it'll just the order will pop up on their phone, it'll just drive it out, and I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm cool, bro, it's fine. But he tried to explain this thing to me for half an hour, and he was just like, man, I need someone to help grow this.
You know what I know?
And I'm just like,
one guy's doing right now, and I think he's just too ahead of his time, which is why it's probably having trouble getting off the ground. Mm-hmm. But he's doing the same thing with gas.
Okay.
So basically, like, instead of going to the gas station, you just order your gas on through your phone.
And they have like a gas truck.
And the guy just shows up and he pumps your gas. No. So like if you go to work and your car's parked for a limited amount of time, you're like, I'm running out of gas. You just go to work. And
I would so use that.
And then you just basically what you do at that point, it's you hit the app and say, I need gas between this time and this time. And they just show up and they fill your tank, and then they just charge your credit card on the app. Because your system's on the app, so you never have to go in. It's super convenient.
I would so use that.
Yeah, and you could also set it up where it comes in at a specific time once you so you can like budget your gas. Yeah. So let's say I'm like, okay, I'm only going to spend $400 a month on gas. I want them to come every Thursday at 7 o'clock when my car is parked. And you just leave it outside, and they just come and they show up and they fill it up.
Because I'm just waiting for, I don't know if there's like yet something for the convenient, like, you know, all the convenience store stuff, candy, junk food, all that stuff.
They had that for a little while.
They had something like that.
Nightlife
and I think that died out.
Yeah,
but it's just a matter of when there's actually going to be a platform that's going to do that at scale and be successful in that.
What about someone who delivers weed?
They're called drug dealers.
That's currently available.
It's currently available right now. It's currently available on the black market.
Legally. Legally, that's a business.
Yeah. That's going to be a business once they get that system set up.
If they're allowed to, yeah.
Well, you just need to license. You know what you would have to do, and I don't know whether
you know what. We don't
do
talk about this on camera because someone's going to jack that idea.
Okay. Wow.
But then, like, there's like,
who cares, man?
There's like the idea's already out there in the ethos.
It's
all
like
about
we didn't
executing and see if
whoever's going to do it, right? Like, are you going to do it? I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's not my business. I'm not going to run it.
Have you guys heard of Drizzly? So it's that app that then delivers alcohol to you within like 20 minutes. So
That's
I mean,
cool.
if they're doing that, then yes.
It's just a matter of time, yeah.
It'll go into 100%. It's just a matter of when.
Weed Maps delivers weed.
It's called Weed Maps?
Yeah.
Carlitos, hitting us with the Weed Maps.
So there you go. So there's Weed Maps for all that stuff. But I mean, everything's going to be like delivering through an app. And once when we're all like, you know.
And then they're going to show up in little drones.
That's Amazon's doing that.
Yeah, just little drone things.
Amazon's delivering their shit.
You know what people are going to do when those little drones, when they start.
Cartel.
The cartel does.
Yeah.
You guys
When-
the cartel.
When those drones, all you need to do is just get those pet eagles. I think it would be awesome, man. Just to go and wham, just go and snap those drones out, right? Like you just go and just snap them.
The competition.
The competition, right? Like, have you seen those eagles, man? They just attack the
ones?
trained eagles that go and attack the drone.
Drones, yeah.
So you just basically if there's drones everywhere, you just work in the business. I'm like, if it's coming, just start training eagles now.
Yeah.
And just start sending eagles to go and collect your.
That's also like a multi-million-dollar industry now. Is like drone stopping protection and all that stuff because people are flying that stuff everywhere, right? Because there's those like giant net guns and there's like training animals.
You know,
there is, yeah,
you know what? You know what you would.
And there's guns that like will kill the power to them.
Yeah, just send up an what is an ENG? What, like you can
EMP.
you just throw a pulse at that thing, man, and it's gone. Like it's like it goes like and then it like
and then it dies.
And it crashes, man. Like you can't fly that thing without try flying. I've tried flying that thing without like GPS lock. It's hard, man. Like they hover and they do this
and
they
move
all over the
wind.
place and the wind takes it and I'm just like mine. I flew one in the like it was so sad. I flew one in the winter time and it was too cold. And I got one of those cheap propellers. I think they were cheap propellers because I ordered them online.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were cheap, but I think they were. Because what happened was the wind came and because it was so cold, it just went bing and it snapped one of the propellers right off.
Did your heart? How high was it?
It was gone, man. Like all of a sudden the camera just goes and it goes and it crashed on the ground. And I'm like, oh man.
Was it destroyed?
Destroyed. And I bought a new shell for it and I put it to shell together, but it, like the gimbal's still acting funny and I'm still getting error messages. I think it's toast.
It's gone.
I think it's done. I think it's done. It's a sad.
How cold was it?
Like -30.
So you get, because I have a drone too. I remember one time I was like tempted to fly, and it's like no, it has to only fly. I think it was like -5.
Yeah,
is the lowest.
Yeah, it was hard. Like
But-
sometimes the battery gets too cold too quickly, and I'm just
so
like
it could die. But then I guess bottom line is I never thought about the propeller
the
thing.
propeller snapped right off because it was windy. It was like too windy, and it was like poof, and it dropped. It's like damn it, man. So
My
like
heart would have stopped.
yeah, so I had to buy a new drone, and I was just like not like. I was like, I wanted the new drone, but I wasn't ready. I wanted to sell the old one and get some money for it. And all of a sudden now I have to dish out the full pop. And I'm like, oh man, this is not fun. I'm just like, there goes $2,000 like that. I'm just like, not fun.
Oh shit! Oh totally. That would make me vex.
Yeah, it was pretty sad.
Vexed. I haven't heard that word in a long time, but yeah, that's cheese, man. Like those drones aren't cheap.
No.
But they
make their money back.
Becoming cheaper.
Well, inexpensive.
Yeah,
Inexpensive.
Like, you can get some like really good ones for like not that bad of a price in comparison before when they're always like 1,500, 1,000. You can get some good decent.
I got the smaller one too.
Yeah.
I'm like the smaller ones I find are a little better. They're easier to fly because like they're less intrusive.
Yeah.
And like you don't need as many permits for the small little guys,
Totally.
right?
Because those things, sure, if they die,
Yeah.
they're worth to take someone out of the head.
But I can't see it. I'm like, it goes up in the air, and I'm just like, I lost it. I'm just like, with the other one.
But do you wear the goggles when you do it?
No.
Yo, come on, dude. They make races out of that.
I know. I
shit.
sold my
You ever
goggles.
watch those? You ever watch those races?
Yeah, those things are crazy.
Those little ones, those guys that slip and they
some
flip
nerd
upside
and they're
down.
like-
They're insane. Those pilots.
Yeah, they're really
You're
good.
gonna call them pilots.
They're pilots, man. Like, have you seen those
Gotta
videos
watch
where
it.
the
They go
guy's like
through the
flying
hoops.
underneath the train, and he was flying above the train, and then he would go under the train, and then he would just turn around and go the opposite direction.
What
of the train.
dope footage you get from
I
it?
saw this like awesome, like they had a course that was like in this warehouse, so it went from indoor outdoor. Like those guys are pilots. Like
Yeah,
No, they're going fast. Like
they're gunning it.
You have to really trust. I guess once you start to really trust where your propellers are,
Yeah.
and what your actual like range is. Like that's the thing. Like I look at the screen, but I don't trust that there's nothing. Like if I see a pillar, like if the thing is in the way of a pillar and I can't see the perspective, I don't know if I'm flying right into it or not.
No,
I
they
have
wear
no
the
idea.
goggles, man. You ever see what those dudes look like though?
What does that have to do with anything?
They don't have girlfriends, man. They just
Yeah, but what is that? Why do you got to put that kind of stereotype out there? I'm pretty sure some of them have girlfriends.
and if they do, they're
Like you're just assuming that.
You
That's
know
a
what?
bad assumption.
That is
It's-
that is a misconception.
You trying to tell me those guys are pulling?
So there's
Some of them are. Some of them are pretty good pilots, and people like pilots.
So I used to be like a professional video game player way back when.
Yeah, that's dope though.
but
That's pretty cool.
But
MLG? Were you in the MLG?
No. So it's PC gaming.
Yeah.
So we were doing what we were doing was before MLG, but then that was started to get a lot of momentum when Halo
Yo, that's so
2
sick.
started
What were you
happening.
playing? You were playing Halo.
No, I was playing Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, so it was a crazy thing. But then one of the main stereotypes was like gamers were.
Did you have a girlfriend?
Of course, I had a girlfriend.
You were pulling?
But there was a bunch of people who were just like, a bunch of just good-looking girls, dudes, that were just all gamers. But then there's a lot of nerds, the cliche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll throw a 9 out of 10. Maybe one dude in there is pulling.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like even when I was in the Canadian Army.
Yeah.
Like the
Oh, shit, I
Canadian.
never knew you were the Canadian
Yeah, I was in
Army.
the Canadian Army for a while, but I couldn't handle it. But there was our Canadian Army are kind of like the outsiders in high school.
Okay.
The kids that are basically, they don't really fit in with the group, and then they go to the army, and then all of a sudden they're all there, so they all get together and they fit in.
Yeah.
And then I noticed in the American army, it's more like the jocks and the guys who get like, after they've played on the sports teams and all that other stuff, the next thing they come out and they go, what do I do now?
Totally.
They join the army. So like, that's kind of like how I would range like how the characteristics are. That's why our army is like such a like nice go lucky go around and helping people type of army. And then the Brits were just all a bunch of like, they would just get drunk and smashed, and like, well, the ones in Canada anyways, they're just like, yes, send those guys to Canada. They would just get so drunk and like get like pissed drunk in the bars every time.
That's crazy.
So like, there's different people have their little clusters in terms of like.
How strict was it?
Ours was pretty strict, like only because I think they were more strict out of fear.
Yeah.
Because there were all those Brits out there, they didn't want a bunch of 17-year-old kids.
You're training with Brits?
They were part of our like there's a base out in Wainwright.
Yeah.
And a base out in Wainwright, they have all the different, like it's a training base. So like there's a whole bunch of different platoons that are there training and doing different stuff, and then you go out into the bush, you do like crazy hikes, and then you do like what do you call it, like simulated gunfights and stuff like that, where you go out there with little caps on your guns. And
was there U.S. Americans training too?
Or
is it strictly just the Canadian?
Mostly Canadian. The Brits were out there. Yeah, so like it's those were like.
Did you ever do war games?
Yeah, that's what you do. I threw a grenade. Like I got to throw an actual grenade.
You chucked a grenade.
I chucked a grenade.
How'd that feel?
It was interesting because like so you're behind like a concrete wall.
You chucked a grenade, man.
Yeah.
You threw one out.
Two
What
of them.
type?
I don't know, just when you
like
pull
classic American grenade, like,
you
like with the little like
the little
green
pin
with the little things on it.
Yeah, and you pull the pin.
How'd
and
that
then
feel? You felt manly, eh?
So like
I'd be like worried, just like drop it. Like,
well, yeah. So what happened was, so you have this glass, like bulletproof glass, that you can watch the thing explode under.
Okay.
So I threw it to watch where it lands. But,
got scared,
and then
right?
I just sitting there and I'm watching where it goes, and the guy grabbed me and he yanked me to the ground because I guess I was up for too long.
the whole like a shrapnel takes you out. Like,
well, yeah, because I'm watching to see where it lands, and he just grabs me and he pulls me down to the ground.
You don't watch where it lands. You chuck it and take
the
cover,
worst.
man.
I think then they send you in the gas chamber.
Yeah.
Gas chamber.
Did you have to do that?
what's
Were
the
you
gas
crying?
chamber one?
The gas chamber.
Without a mask.
Like
You
you
take
take
your
your
mask
mask off and then you put your mask back on, and it's like a tear gas kind of thing, and like
What'd it feel like?
Oh, like burning skin. Your skin just burns.
Did you cry?
Oh.
You tear up.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not
did
like
you-
it's not like a cry. It's
No,
not like it's not like a crying. It's like you're just your eyes get, it's like onions and stuff.
No,
Like
no,
your
I
eyes
watched-
ties and everything gets and your skin gets all burnt. It's literally like you can feel it burning, like chemically burning yourself.
How loud was it? Was it a big explosion? And how loud was it?
It was just like a poof. It's not like a.
What do you mean,
I remember like
Like
how
it's not. It wasn't like a big massive. It's just it's like a grenade. Like it just it's
What
it's
do you
an.
mean, like a grenade? I've never thrown
It's
a
just-
grenade.
it's
I have
a-
no reference point. I
It's
have
an,
movies.
it's an, well, in terms of your video games, you throw it's an isolated it's a spot, so it just does a little explosion about a 4-foot radius. But the thing is the shrapnel goes everywhere.
Yeah.
So the explosion is small, but the shrapnel goes
what
everywhere, and you
hurts.
get hit with all the shrapnel. You don't get. It's not the explosion that gets you. It's all the like
What is it?
tons of
Put in there?
shrapnel.
Just little chunks of metal?
No, the thing is metal, and when it explodes,
that
it just
shell,
like you know how it has little bumps on it.
Yeah.
It just cracks and explodes.
Oh, there's nothing inside those little bumps?
It's all the
little bumps
gunpowder and there's
themselves that...
Like
Okay,
the
I
whole
see that.
the little grenade, the little thing that you're holding, is what
Okay.
actually like shards. It turns into like a like it goes kaboom and it explodes
that is so
and it shards into people.
That is so insane. Because I remember I was reading this thing about saying like how much lies are thrown into like movies to make people stupid, like criminals stupid in real life, such as like what is like the cliche one? Actually, I learned this actually in class, like how if someone like shoots like a gun or
The silencer?
or even to like silencers and things like that, like they alter it on TV just to make sure that if you try to mimic something you see on TV, you just or in Hollywood, you just lose.
I can see that.
What do you mean they mimic it? Like
Like-
you use a different silencer for a different
Not
weapon?
so much that, but like how loud is an actual silencer in real life versus like a real silencer?
It's not... That's not real in the slightest. A suppressor, it's called suppressor. It's not called... I'm no expert in guns, but it's called suppressor. It's not called a silencer.
Yeah, it's not
And
like the movies how quiet it is. Like people
Yeah.
are just like
Like
taking
a
out
little
the world.
PP7.
Yeah.
No one's going to hear that, no. I believe from what people have told me in my limited research that the reason why you have a silencer or suppressor is not to dull the noise of the
The
thing.
light.
No.
no echo.
It's to make it sound like something else. So it's not. So you don't know you're being shot at by a gun. You're like, oh, who dropped that garbage can, or like who kicked
That's
that?
interesting.
Who kicked that piece of metal? As opposed to you don't think you're getting shot at. That's what I've heard anyway.
Just to change the sound?
Yeah.
Pitch it?
Interesting.
And it makes it a little bit less.
That makes sense though, because the thing is like you that energy has to go somewhere.
Totally.
Like, so you can't just dissipate. You can't just hold the sound waves and not have them go anywhere. You have to just dissipate them in a different way.
Versus Hollywood, it's just like
Yeah.
The sniper's loud as hell, man. Snipers are loud ass guns, man. Like that shit's got some torque to it. Yeah, those things are cannons, man.
Yeah, that's how they get caught. That's how they get caught. They're like, "There's the sniper right there."
Right there.
I heard it.
Right there. That person's like, ah, shit.
Shit, I watched a freaking Born Identity movie, and I thought I could get away with this.
Took out a whole city. Yeah. Like, no, totally.
Yeah, that's
funny.
fuck. Dude, I used to watch, I got some sick fetish watching dudes doing Hell Week. Like, I watch them doing the Hell Week on, what is that? The U.S. Navy does Hell Week. You ever heard of that?
Yeah. When it's just like them training?
Yeah. And you're just like, yo, that fucking sucks. Like, I sit in my bed and I watch these dudes and I'm like, yo, at least I'm not doing this bullshit.
My week's not that bad.
Yeah, my week's not that bad. These guys are fucking up at 4 a.m. getting whipped and shit, like hosed down and whatnot. But anyways, I watched the one with the gas mask shit, and there's dudes, they got to go in the gas chamber and they freaking put the not mustard gas, I'll kill you, but just tear gas.
Yeah.
But like there's dudes crying, snot pouring out of their eyes, and
so they can experience it.
Yeah, you experienced that. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's insane.
After that, like doing basic, I was just like, man, I can't go into war. I'm like, I'd be a dead man for sure. I can't kill anybody. Okay, I had like I've killed 2 squirrels in my life, in one camping trip. And,
why did you kill him? Actually, no, you killed a mouse too. You ran over with your skateboard.
That was an accident.
That was on
actually
purpose.
Kill the mouse. Like we were riding this summer, and I'm like, we're longboarding, and he stopped, and he was just standing there.
Because I saw a poor little mouse crossing the road.
See him.
I saw a poor little mouse. And I was like, I can't kill him.
So he was already stopped, and then he saw the mouse. He goes, "Watch out for the mouse!"
And he just totally hit.
He literally ran across the street at the same time that the board. So
he didn't run across. He was standing there.
No,
like this,
he ran across. He ran across the street, and I literally ran over him. Like my wheels are like this big, so like that's divine intervention. He must have done something wrong. Yeah. Like to basically have been thrown in front of.
It was suicidal mouse.
It was a suicidal mouse, but I hit him dead on.
But that's
squish.
That's good. Like
that's good. It wasn't.
That's good that you didn't try to swerve out of the way.
I didn't have time. He just said, "Watch out for the mouse," and by the time I saw him, I was already. It was too late. I didn't even have time to do anything.
Did you see it after? Did it explode or was
it was disintegrated?
It was just
a streak.
It was just flat on the road. It was like.
Yeah, so you still have nightmares from that. You couldn't kill anything.
Yes, I've killed 3 rodents now.
Yeah. He still has nightmares. He's still
back in high school. How do I still know this stuff? Like I have nightmares about these rodents that we killed back in high school, and I was just like, oh man, and I feel like I know that's coming on my judgment day. I'm gonna have to talk about this.
What did these squirrels do to you?
Yeah. Well, the second one. So the first one, oh man, it was bad. We had the axe because we couldn't catch them. I didn't think we were gonna catch them, and the guy was just like,
well, you killed a rodent. You killed a squirrel with an axe. You psychopath.
I'm kind of impressed.
And,
like how?
And he's just like, I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him. He was in the bush there, and my buddy was like, he's there, just swing it. And so then I'm like, okay. And I just swung the axe.
And you got it?
I caught him. I was like, fuck. And then the second one.
Did it crunch? Like, how did it feel? Like in your hands, like through, like, did you feel death? Like through
he
the thing?
still ran a bit and then collapsed.
You retarded it and then you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Wow. Did you finish the rat off? Or
he died. Off? The second one was the worst one.
You had to finish it.
The second one we had to finish because like the second one. So now we feel really bad that we killed this one, and so then like we're eating steaks and someone. The other one, the couple. So that's looking for his friend. He's there.
Oh, the buddy. So
the
he's
buddies.
Like, where's the? He's like, Travis.
And he's just like, and so we're just like, you know, throw him a bone. Actually. Yeah,
you did not throw a steak bone at it.
They threw a steak bone at it. I don't even think it was me for the second one. I think I only killed the first one, but we threw.
What do you mean you think you only killed the first
one?
How do you screw these stories up, Steve?
No, wait, I want to hear the steak bone.
The steak bone. So we threw the steak bone at the thing, and it caught his leg, and it snapped his leg off. So now he's running in circles trying to gnaw his leg off, and he's like spinning in circles, and we're like,
what's good?
You gotta kill this one now too. So then
what kind of squirrels are these squirrels?
Yeah, so he caught him with the steak bone, and he snapped his leg. So.
Oh my god.
It was bad. It was bad. I felt like horrible for the long.
So
I still feel horrible,
how did
man.
you
That
guys
happened
kill-
20 years ago
How did you kill it?
with the accident.
Oh my god.
You're a psycho, man. You're a psycho.
I didn't kill the second one. The second one, someone else put him out of his misery. But we killed 2 squirrels, and it was pretty sad.
Holy no.
Yeah, and I still remember that. And I know like a couple of my friends who were on that camping trip, if they remember that squirrel, just leave a comment below if you want your name attached there. Because there was a few of us that were on that trip. But yeah,
So funny. No, I have not killed any squirrels.
yeah.
I killed a bird once. I still kind of.
Your bird? You killed your bird?
No, I've
Dude, this
never
guy's
killed
got
my
like
bird.
his pet bird, and he's like,
How did you killed it?
No, you weirdos! I didn't kill my own bird.
Oh, you killed a bird.
Yeah. It was all of. I don't
like
know.
slingshot?
I got peer pressured into driving over it with a bike.
Why didn't it just
Why did
fly
it fly away? I don't
It
understand.
was a baby bird.
Oh.
Couldn't fly yet.
You peer pressure.
This discussion just went dark.
Yeah, this went dark. Yeah, I got peer pressured into it.
Speaking of birds, I was in Vancouver one time and I was running across the what's it called, the wall there.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
The wall?
There's like
There's a wall there?
There's like you go around.
BC
the pier.
built a wall?
They should have a wall, yeah.
You think, eh? Gotta keep
And
the burdens out.
there was a seagull there. There was a seagull there, and this was a massive seagull. Like he was so massive. I was running down the street, and like all of these other seagulls were kind of like there. So he was about 3 or 4 times the size.
Yeah.
Like big. Like
Seagulls
like,
are not small, yeah.
No, and he was like this big. He was like the alpha seagull.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't get out of my way. I literally had to kick him to get out of my way. Like this is how cocky this seagull was, man.
That is like pigeons in New York, where they're not scared of humans or nothing. Like they're
Dude,
just
I was
like
running, and all the other seagulls left because they were just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this guy's running," and this
This
guy
was
just like, he'll run around me, and I'm just like, and so all he did was this, and like where he just
Puffed-
kind of like
yeah.
puffed up, and like where he like just kind of jumped a little bit out of the way, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, that guy just took a boot, man. Didn't even fly away.
Oh,
Yeah,
but-
pigeon in New York do that shit. Yeah.
no,
The
they're-
major metropolises. They
Or
don't
all
give
of
two
them are
shits about
crazy.
us. Yeah.
those like snatch food from your hand if they could. No, I don't mess. I don't. That's why sometimes I don't mess with Mother Nature.
No,
Animals.
You
and things
can't
like
mess
that,
with Mother
dude.
Nature. That's what people are like. It always looks for balance. It's like the same thing with your body. Like the nature just is always looking for balance at all times. So whatever we do to it, there's a consequence. We just have to know what the consequence is.
You're trying to tell me the pigeons are a representation of balance? Is it like Mother Nature saying "fuck you, humans"?
I'll give you an example. You start feeding the pigeons, someone gets shat on. There's a balance.
Yeah, I guess.
That's true.
There's always a cause and effect for some stuff, you know?
People are always feeding pigeons in certain
Yeah, they
areas,
like
and
don't
it-
feed the pigeons bread because like they choke on them or they shit all over the place and like yeah.
and complain about that stuff, and then they destroy the property.
Yeah, pigeons. There's a building in Edmonton I know that has a bad pigeon problem right now, and they can't sell the building.
Because
The pigeons are inside.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say names of it, but
They're
they're in
inside?
the ventilation. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
Yeah, it's pretty bad, and it's like they're I think they're considered a rodent, so it's like an infestation. And these guys are trying to sell this building right now, and they can't do it because
Because they have to.
they got
probably-
flying rodents
Yeah,
inside
they would
there.
have to then spend all this money to get it all exterminated.
Yeah, so they're not. They're just keeping it, but like not telling anyone on the low.
So the low.
Yeah. I think a few people know, but I'm not saying there's no.
Speaking of
name.
rodents, did you know that gunpowder comes from like bat dung?
Dude, you're so random.
What are you serious?
I'm pretty sure. Like I saw a thing about that. Like it's like bat shit. That's how they make gunpowder.
Did the Chinese come up with this? Or Chinese came up with
We're
gunpowder?
gonna need a fact check on
I'm
that.
gonna need
one.
a fact check on that. I'm gonna fact check it right now.
Where
No, so-
does gunpowder? come from?
Stevie figures out batshit gunpowder. Bobby T, talk to me about what's going on. Like, what are you up to? Like, you're all over the place.
You are all over the place.
Like, you're
Are you part of the white party? No.
The white party?
Yeah?
What's the white party?
Where people all dress up in white?
What are you talking about?
Dinner on Blanc.
Oh,
No, that used to be part of Dinner on Blanc.
holy shit! Is that bad that my mind went there? I was like,
You're like, Stevie, what are you talking about here?
Did your mind go there?
No, I knew. I was like, all white party. I was like, oh, he's probably talking Dinner on Blanc.
I wasn't
Yeah.
talking. I was like, I was thinking of Chappelle. What's it? Tyrone Biggums? Is that his name?
No, Tyrone Biggums is when he's a crackhead.
Yeah, the crackhead. What's the other one? It's the black KKK guy, and he's blind.
I totally forgot
what's his name. That's why I was like, yo, I was like,
You guys are
Stevie,
all
what
over
are
the
you
place.
Kid who's
But
been
no,
on
I
Blanc.
used to be part of Dinner on Blanc, but I haven't been there in like 3 years because I was part of like the table leaders for the first 2 years, and then just lost touch in it.
Took over.
Different thing. Have you guys ever been to that though?
No.
I never get invited.
It's interesting. I can't see the thing about paying money to bring my own table and my own food.
You have to bring your own table?
And your own food.
No, and you have to bring up. You
don't have to bring your own food.
Yeah, you gotta bring your own. It's like it's a picnic.
The fuck?
That's
I thought it was like catered, and I was like,
You have that option. You could pay more now for it. But like in the past, I don't know what it is now, but in the past, what it was, you pay $75.
What am I paying
per
for?
person for the opportunity to experience a picnic.
That's fair, actually. No, it's kind of dope. It was cool. Dinner on Blanc was dope.
So this is what made it super interesting. Like, okay, so everyone dresses all in white. You have to have all white table linens. You have to bring all of your stuff. It has to be glass, no paper stuff.
I didn't know you had to do that.
Yeah, and you have to bring all your food, and you have to then, whatever you bring, you have to take with you afterwards. So
Yeah,
the
so
tables,
no
chairs,
dishes,
everything.
Yeah.
So what made it interesting is the first year, it was like raining ridiculously hard. And they had 1,200 people.
This was 4 years ago? 3 years ago?
This was 2000, so I think this was about like 4 years ago now.
Okay.
That was the first time?
Yeah, it was the first time.
4
in
years?
Edmonton.
Okay.
In Edmonton.
That was the one that they had like in a super nice house or whatever, wasn't it? Like,
No. So the first year they did it at, I forgot that park that's between
Shaw
basically
Conference Center?
Between Shaw, it's Alberta.
The Shumka.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Chinese park. There's a little Chinese little pagoda thing. I used to do hip hop in the park there. Like,
yeah, exactly.
The first hip hop in the park was there.
Okay.
Oh, what's it called?
I forgot.
Lewis McGuinness Park?
Sounds like that.
Is that it?
I believe so,
Yeah, Lewis McGuinness.
So that was the first time we did the park. And then once again, what made it crazy was 1,200 people were out. It was raining hard. 1,200 people paid, so they're not going nowhere. And they sat in the rain and ate.
that's pretty cool though.
And like, all that means is that, from what I took from that, was Edmonton is so hungry for experiences that we're willing to eat in rain.
Dude,
That's a
been
cool
doing that-
experience
Dressed in all
though.
white.
You've been doing that forever, like
So
the
we're-
events before that.
Yeah,
Like
so
Made
we're-
in Edmonton was
like-
so sick.
Yeah, so our biggest event that we did is we did like a garden party at Colin Garden when he had
That
that
guy's
property.
Wild guy, yeah, I went there
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
I've been to
he-
all those things.
Yeah, and those were always like a wicked events experiences. Favorite event I ever hosted was like that ice party that you performed on. If
Yeah.
you remember that?
That was sick.
So there was this place called like Billingsgate Seafood, which was a giant seafood place that like did for at one point in time, like they supplied seafood
Everybody.
to all of Alberta, and then whatever reason
It went
business
under.
like fizzled
It went
down,
down.
and they had this giant freezer that was just collecting dust. And
But
so
a giant freezer, you mean like a warehouse-sized freezer?
yeah, like it was like
So it's huge.
ginormous. Like we put through like anywhere from 200 to 300 people
Inside a freezer?
Into a freezer.
So this is like a cow freezer where they basically like one of those type of things where they have like people work in these freezers
it's
where they hang
exactly.
cows and they ship them down.
and it was
they-
all so it was
they
all
butcher
it was
them.
all
It was all
seafood.
seafood,
So it was a
but there was no
gigantic-
food in there. But it was a
No,
it was a
'cause
warehouse.
it was decommissioned from that now. So we hosted like an ice party in this.
That
like,
was
freezer.
cool.
Did you
That
keep
was
it cold?
neat.
No, because it was like Edmonton being Edmonton. We didn't have to.
Oh.
We just had to like let Edmonton do its thing.
And so
there's
you
no
just
heat.
you just had no heat in there.
Because we were gonna pump it cold, and we're like, actually, no, it's cold enough with just Edmonton doing what it's doing. But it was a wicked event. So like now I'm still doing those kind of like pop-up parties. We're working more so with brands because to do a pop-up party, to pay for like all the infrastructure in terms of like the bars, the tables, everything.
You need the toilets and all that other shit.
And then
out
you
there,
rent
too.
all the bathrooms because whatever venue that we're popping it up in doesn't have facilities. It's just super expensive. Like
Yeah, no.
we'd break
The
even.
handycan's expensive.
We'd
yeah.
break even or lose money on absolutely every one of them we did.
My favorite one, BobbyT, that you did was the one above Yellowhead Brewery before
Yeah.
anyone knew about that.
That loft party.
I wanted to live there. What is theirs now? They probably made some bullshit office
It's
space out
just
of
like
that.
storage now.
Yeah.
This is junk in there.
Dude,
And
I would
loft
live in
up
that
there?
thing. Dude,
So
it was
what-
so
So what they have is
in the back door? That's
Yeah.
how you guys went in?
Yeah.
Up the elevator, the Batman elevator? You
Yeah.
pull the switch?
So what we did was like above
want that
Yellowhead
place.
Brewery on their second floor. They just have like just a vacant, raw, undeveloped like
It's
warehouse
a basketball
space.
court floor.
Yeah, raw, undeveloped space, and it's gigantic. And so we're like, one day we were looking for a venue and we saw a spot. We're like, oh fuck, we can just host a really wicked party in here. And that took so much money to like clean up, and then we had to get like electrical team to like clean up some of the wirings because they had like, it was totally raw.
It was raw.
The
thing's raw
wirings
as
were all
hell.
over the place and things like that. And they have one of those like old school like gate down wooden like am I gonna die and get murdered elevators, which was dope for the aesthetic.
So
and then we
sick.
hosted just like a party up there and we called like the loft
That's
party.
a cool.
So.
That's a cool spot.
Kind of like an elevator like this, and you got to
Yeah, yeah.
stop it where the chalk line meets, like where
Yeah.
you're supposed to. Yo, it was so sick. And it was in the back door. You had to go in the back door. They had the dopest party. Like it was so
Yeah.
fun. Pow Pow was there. Like everyone was there.
So that was like a really wicked event. No, we enjoyed that. And like last year, I got like a taste of that in terms of like the event we chose, where we did like a champagne party on top of. Do you know where like El Cortez is and where Holy Rollers was and Have Mercy?
Yeah.
So like right beside there's like a micro apartment building where they have like a rooftop, and they had 2 rooftops. So we hosted like a dual rooftop kind of party where we had like 2 rooftops going where people can float back and forth between. And then we lugged all of this like patio furniture, and we hosted a really cool party. But it was like
The
wicked
money's
events.
tough. The money's not there.
and that, but like the work. So the next day we had to tear everything down, and it was just me and one of my business partners. You guys know him, Keenan Pascal.
Yeah, Keenan.
Oh, yeah,
Pascal. Yeah.
We
Shout
couldn't-
out Keenan Pascal.
Yes, shut up.
We couldn't get any more volunteers. The whole next day was this pouring rain, and then we broke down and took down 10 patio sets that sat 10 people.
So it's 100.
Yeah. So then like
Wow.
100 pieces of furniture we took down from there ourselves. We spent 11 hours in the rain, just the whole day. And I was just like, we're never doing this again. It was horrible.
I know.
But it was a cool party. And like to
People
be
don't
honest,
see the back end of that.
and
shit.
no one like, and because of the amount of work that took, in my opinion, I don't think no one's gonna go to that extent to kind of put a party in. And I don't think no one's that stupid, because when we're that stupid.
Well, you do it because you want to throw a cool party,
you
not
set
because you
the-
want to
you
make
set the
lots of money
standard
from
for
it, right?
So
So what happens is you put in all this work to throw this really cool party, and then you break even. And you're like, that was a fucking shitload of.
Yeah,
Work for complete no monetary compensation.
I'm glad I broke even.
100%. But like I just like, so with Made in Edmonton and Tastemakers Edmonton is what we would brand it to. I now realize like what the opportunity was because it wasn't to ever make money. Like in hindsight, we thought that it was, but no, it's not. It's all about us just to like build and strengthen relationships.
Yeah.
That's all it's for.
Or
It's all
now, if you think about it, what you could use those events for is to build content,
100%.
right? Like with your stuff, now that you know, you just like put these massive events on and like literally like do content with them and start like walk around with microphones, get specific people microphones and film the whole
Yeah,
thing.
you have all the.
100%.
I
And
don't
all of a
want to say
sudden
the
now you
who's
got-
who, but there's a lot of like young movers and shakers that go to those events that you could definitely
Shoot them like
And so-
documentaries. man.
And like it's what's awesome is like while we're building that, like what gave us momentum, we would shoot videos and we do video
Yeah, you do
reels
those dope videos.
yeah, and we do them afterwards because we were operating like between the gray areas because we weren't able to like license all these places were just random pop-up areas, and so AGLC had so many rules and so many obligations, all this stuff. So we would just operate in the
Kind of
gray
secret
area.
ninja.
You
They're
know
ninja
what?
parties.
That's what it should
And
be.
so
We should call them secret ninja parties and literally like where they have to catch you. You know,
just like run to the next place.
yeah, right to the
That's
next
how
place.
you end up in jail, man. That operating with an AGLC license is not a great, pleasant thing if some AGLC guy shows up. What are they called? Inspectors. If an inspector
Well, totally.
shows up,
So
that's not
so what we would do is and it's funny, all of our parties were always private. We weren't publicly promoting or advertising them, but we would publicly advertise our last event we did. So then we'd always get some people, the last event, to get all charged up about it. It's like, oh, if you're interested in our next event, then you have to sign up for our email list or sign up for whatever to be informed. And if you don't, then you don't.
You know what?
That
That's
was
the
the
thing.
workaround.
That's the
That
workaround,
is
and
the
then you can
workaround.
just basically say, yeah, you can just buy your membership to our thing.
And they're all exactly.
And
They're
you're
all
not,
private.
you're not allowed to
People
have
pay for
public
them.
events and sell alcohol like that.
Totally.
There's all
Yeah,
these
but you
little
can
rules.
have memberships and give my alcohol away for free.
Totally. And so that's
Like
how-
just like a normal party, right? Like
And-
if you rent a mansion, let's say Airbnb a mansion,
Yeah.
and then people pay their
They
membership
did
fee.
that. That house that hasn't sold yet. Is that house sold
I
yet?
don't know if the house is sold. So we did a pop up like a mansion party. It was like a $2 million property up top that hill.
Grierson?
Where Folk
Grierson,
Fest, where Folk Fest is.
Okay.
And it was like an awesome property.
Connors Road.
Yes.
That's Connor's Hill.
And then I forgot the name of this place, but it was a beautiful place, and we called it like a Moet Mansion party. We had all these like rooms. Like you know what's the one thing I felt we dropped the ball on? We didn't program all the rooms. Like if I could redo that event again, I'd do it in a heartbeat and program like something wicked in each room.
I had so much fun in that place.
Yeah.
That was so dope.
Yeah, but like that so like this event was like super stressful to set up because of two things. Like we knew people like did not want to take off their shoes because it's like a venue, but we also knew like this is all carpeted place. So like, how the hell do we control this?
And give everyone the little doctor slippers.
Totally. So we looked into that. It became out to being like, wait, cool, yeah, we can buy 200 slippers for $30 a slipper. No, we're not gonna waste all that budget for that. And so what we did is we just prayed that no one had dirty shoes, and we made sure everyone just had to have really nice, awesome shoes, and then there was just no dirt.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking that when I came in, and I was like, yo, how are they going to do this without everyone's shoes?
We couldn't. There's no way to control it. Someone...
Unless you just had a guy say, like a very nice, well-spoken lady who's like very like...
Can you take off your shoes?
Can you please take off your shoes?
And then what happens, like the other scenario around that too, which is hard, is like if someone takes off their shoes gets placed over here.
Shoe
gets
check,
taken.
but like coat check. Give them tags.
And we had that idea too.
You did?
And then stacking the shoes and planning
Like where
a
you're supposed to
room
put 'em.
Exactly.
Yeah, headache.
That's another nightmare. So just imagine checking in 200
Pairs of shoes.
200 pairs of shoes. And
Yeah,
then,
even at a house party,
and
you're like
then
your shoes are just all piled up there and you're
100%.
trying to find your
and
shoes.
then, and then imagine like putting a code, like, you know, like a
What's
a
a ticket
system
code? Yeah. It's the
But
same thing for coat check, but
for 200 shoes. Oh,
Yeah, that would have been a headache.
another nightmare.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
well,
so
you
what's
gotta-
better than fucking
you
up
gotta-
this guy's carpet?
You gotta think about
Totally.
it. You could probably
You got lucky.
But you know
Yeah,
what
I
you
got-
do
I
is
got lucky.
You build up one of those wall shelves. You could probably build a wall shelf like they do with the bowling.
So
And
that's
you-
true too.
You
But
could have done 200 shoes in like one
Oh,
wall.
yeah, Steve. Yeah. Blow the budget on that, man. Like that's the last thing he wants to do is build a wall shelf for shoes.
and that's the thing, though, exactly, because you've limited budget. So it's like,
And time.
Do we put a budget to build this?
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe no. So that we just kind of hoped, and it turned out well. But like next minute it was raining, we'd be screwed. Next minute, I don't know, it was like all muddy, we'd be screwed.
How you know what? I've thrown events too. I've thrown a bunch in my life, like with my name behind them, and they're so the most stressful freaking thing ever. And when you have weather into it, you're just like, oh dear God, oh dear God, oh dear God, please don't.
Oh,
It's scary.
I do not like. I every year I swear off outdoor events because it's the most it's the biggest gamble.
You're just so stressed.
It's just like no matter what you do, if it rains, you're fucked.
If it's too hot, you're fucked.
Yeah, it's like a lose-lose situation. But if it's perfect weather, best event ever. Period.
Yeah, it's a roll of the dice. You got a chance. You got 1 out of 3 chance.
And it's such extremes. But then outdoor events. It is. I don't even look at the weather. I don't even care. It doesn't even matter.
Well, Edmonton usually, and just like usually is really really hot during the day.
Yeah.
And then everything evaporates and then pours at night.
Yep.
So if you have your event usually during the day, you should be okay.
Who's going to a day event though?
You'd swear on that. But then the amount of day events I've done where it's just been pouring.
Yeah.
And then when it's pouring and you pump all this money into like alcohol and no one's drinking because it's so cold, you're just like, why the fuck are we doing this?
Yeah, it's so bad.
Why the fuck are we doing this?
Yeah.
And you're looking at people's sad faces because they're shivering, and you're like, I didn't want this.
I'm
to
so
happen."
sorry. And you're like, I'm sorry the party didn't
I
turn
don't
out
control
well.
again. What you do that state? But like I said, to go back again, what brought us on topic, Dinner en Blanc just showed me. I mean, it was pouring rain and people are eating in a picnic and having conversations in the rain. So I said, you know what? Us in Edmonton, we're so hungry for like experiences that are different. Oh, they'll go through anything. It doesn't matter.
That's wild.
It's
dude.
raining. Cool. I'll wear a rain jacket then, I guess.
Let's
do it.
I'll bring my
They'll go
umbrella.
buy a white rain jacket.
Yeah.
That's got to be a
Totally.
white rain jacket.
Well, and so it's funny because for Dinner en Blanc, if you brought an umbrella, it had to be a white umbrella or transparent.
What happens if did anyone show up there with something else and you're like, hey, sorry, Steve.
Yeah, they would refuse them.
Why Steve? Why are you throwing me under the bus? Why am I bringing something that shouldn't be showing
I don't
up
know,
at
that's
the
some
party?
shit you would do, I think.
What
I
are you
don't know,
talking
man.
about, man? This
Yeah,
guy.
they would stop you.
They
That's
would.
one.
And they'd say no.
It was very stringent. They're strict.
Yeah.
That's cool. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
they even have it like, cause like they're very traditional on their stuff, where they even like outlined, and I don't know if this is still the rules, but I remember in the rules they said like you have to be the opposite side of you has to be a female.
That's
it has
dope.
To be male.
I like
it can't be
that.
like all females. Can't be all males. Opposite side of you has to be some of the opposite sex. Just out of their tradition of what
That's
they're doing.
sick. I like that because Edmonton and their culinary scene and their restaurant scene's too willy-nilly with stuff. It's like people are just, they don't give a shit what you are as long as you have money. You're in.
Are there fine dining restaurants here still in Edmonton? Like
Kind of, but not like white.
Sorta, not to the extremes. Like the last fine dining, what was it called again? Something room.
the Rouge. Is the Rouge still fine dining? There's still fine dining, right? Is it called the Rouge?
I'm not
the
too
one,
sure.
or
Rouge
Chris
Lounge? No.
Ruth is what I'm thinking
Chris
of.
Ruth.
Chris, that's
Chris
not
Ruth.
fine dining. No,
That's not fine dining.
That's
pretty
I classify
close.
that steakhouse.
that's
Like
a
fine
steakhouse.
dining.
That's
would
not
be-
fine dining.
Fine dining would be like concept based stuff. So once again, there's the Alta Alder room. That was fine dining. It was like 126.
Went under, though.
Set pace, but went under.
Yeah, when you got like
120
if you have
plate.
like 20, if you have like
Did you say
10.
120 a plate?
Yeah, it was 120.
I went to a restaurant one time like where there was
set
10 of us around the table and they had 10 servers, all dropped the plate the exact same moment.
In Edmonton?
No, this is in Ecuador. But I was just like, this is
That's
crazy, man.
that's
Like,
so
this
wicked.
is like, cause it was super fine dining. Everything came out. They cleared tables at the exact same time. They dropped. So basically, I had my own personal server because they all served everyone at the exact same moment.
Experiences like that, I think, are awesome, and I think that's what everyone is paying for when it comes to like food and stuff. Because like, I mean, Edmonton, like we're all known for like our steakhouses. And to be honest, like you go to one steak, in my opinion, you go to
They're
one
all the same. You go to them all.
100%.
Well, it's because all the meat's sourced from the same place.
100%.
Same shit.
So then it's just like whatever you're ordering, that different cut, that different thing. Like it's all
It's all from the same
thing.
big company. Yeah. There's a few little one-off spots. I don't want to name names. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're not paying me to do so. I'm being honest, but
Some people got in trouble for trying to outsource their meat from somewhere other than Alberta.
Oh, really? Well, that makes sense.
And then they.
I mean, those kingpins at Alberta beef and Alberta chicken and all that stuff, like and Alberta pork.
Who did that?
They want to
I
make
remember
sure
that.
they want
Yeah,
to make
we're
sure
not
that you're
naming
buying
names.
Alberta.
Yeah, well, you want to support the Alberta beef, right, and stuff like that, and then those
this is a big
certificates.
company that did that.
Yeah, and then the
Very big company.
certificates. It was interesting because at the time that this was happening, I was doing some stuff on a beef farm.
Yeah.
So I was there and I was listening to the other side of the coin, and like those AA grade certified blah blah.
Yeah.
That's just you're paying. It's like the Better Business Route. You pay those companies
For the
to stamp for the
certification.
certification.
Yeah.
So they would pay like the hormone free society
Non-GMO, this,
non-GMO
whatever.
society of the USA.
Yeah.
And it's just a company that basically just gives you a certificate saying the meat they stamp the meat.
That they approve of that. No, that's messed up. Just like how like free range chicken just means that in those giant super chicken coops, there's just a hole cut in it so that they can go in and out if they choose to do so.
There's difference between free range
Like-
and free run and free this and free that.
Like-
Like, there's like 4 different ones or 3 different
Totally.
ones.
And it's all just marketing.
all just
It's all marketing. All in it.
Can you get pet chickens? Like chickens that have like home
I don't
like
think-
internal house.
I don't think we have. I don't think we have bylaws for that. Because I know in California you can.
Well, I know some people who
Here we're not allowed to. You
I
can't
know
have chickens in your house,
No,
no.
I've known some people that have raised chickens in their house.
I don't think so.
They put a little diaper on them.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they put a little diaper on them, and the chicken just runs around, and they just have it as a pet.
I think you get in trouble for that. I don't think you could. Maybe you can have it for a pet, but you can't kill it and eat it.
Why not?
Because you're in the
'Cause
city.
I've seen people-
certain
I've seen-
bylaws
There's
around
certain
that.
bylaws around that. You can't have chickens in your house. Maybe your friend did it, but like if
Maybe
the
I
powers
don't know.
that be
There's
were
a
like,
few.
"Hey,
There's a
what
few
is it?"
people I know that have raised chickens inside their homes, and I was just like, oh, okay.
They don't
That's
want.
crazy. Because I know in California
smell
you
bad.
can.
You can, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, California they have people who have their own chickens to eat their eggs and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
need a
because
license
ideally
for that.
you can't have a rooster. You can have chickens. You can't have a rooster. The
Why rooster?
Because the rooster will fuck up everything, and they crow at 6 a.m.
and the world will just go to an end. The city life will
they'd
go
be
to
like,
an end.
what the hell if if like these roosters are going up?
Could you
Yeah.
really imagine that though? Like how everyone has a dog. Imagine every second person had like.
Well, if
freaking
you had a
rooster.
backyard and you had some chickens in there that you can get eggs from, right?
You'd be
You just
pissed.
let
Have
them
you
in.
ever- yeah, every neighbor would hate you. Have you ever been to Hawaii?
They'd hate you?
Yeah, Hawaii's got dude. I'd be pissed if you were my neighbor and you had a rooster.
Not a
and
rooster.
And
Not
I
a
work
rooster, but
whatever
chicken.
time.
Dude,
and it's
the
every
rooster doesn't
morning.
lay. The rooster doesn't lay eggs, man. You have a bunch of hens.
Yeah, but
running
how
around.
are these getting like? There needs to be sex in some form, like
Well, you could get them from somewhere else and bring them over. You could just carry the hens, not the rooster.
I guess. Anyways,
Yeah.
but like, well, the reason I'm saying in Kauai, like Hawaii, there's a massive. I don't know where these chickens came from, but last time I was there, there's like roosters everywhere, and at 6 a.m, right on the dot, 9,000 of these things at the same time going.
As soon as the sun,
And it's just like
as soon as the sun comes up.
Yeah, it's crazy. You think like a siren's going off, and it is the end of the world.
Holy cow.
Yeah, like it's super loud. It sounds like a fire truck. Like I'm not, no word of a lie.
Yeah.
It's like, you're like, whoa, I'm dying. What's going on? But then you're like, oh, it's just all the roosters popping off at the same time. And then you go back to bed.
At 6 a.m.
At 6 a.m. Yeah, it's nuts. So that doesn't happen in the city. You can't have roosters. And chickens smell bad. They're worse than pigs. Like they're dirty. They're dirtier than pigs, I'd say, actually. Not even gonna lie.
No.
They walk over each other, like they die. Like a chicken will die in those big houses.
Yeah.
These other chickens don't give two shits. They'll just walk over their dead buddy.
Well,
like,
do they have no choice?
No, that's what I'm
In
saying.
those super coops, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just wild. They're just like, sorry, Harry, like you're done. I'm just gonna walk on your dead ass now.
Jeez, Harry didn't make it,
Harry
eh?
didn't
Well,
make it, yeah, buddy.
let's bury him.
Let's shit on them and bury them. Yeah. Yeah, they smell bad, dude. Yeah, chickens are a wild thing. That's wild, man. But yeah, we're going dinner. We always go off topic like wild. Dinner on Blanc.
Yeah.
So you saw that Edmonton has the ability to have, like, what's it called? You said Edmonton has the ability to have people want to do different things and experience culture.
Totally, or just bottom line, people are just hungry for just like events and activities and something that's different, status quo. Like, so many people, like, yes, we're festival city. Yes, in the summertime, there's like a festival programmed every single weekend. But I mean, if you've been born and raised,
they're
like
not
myself
unique.
in here, it's like, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you miss out on a festival this year, it's likely going to be the same thing next year, and it's been the same year the past years. But like a lot of them are trying to rebrand and do things, and so that's why I think my events have been able to like kind of pick up. So we were always trying to like create experiences that were outside of the club worlds and also outside of the festivals that were just different and unique.
That's so dope.
So that was from like, yes, the garden party, the loft party, the ice party that we did. We've also done mansion party. We did like a Halloween party with like
The Yelloween?
Yeah, Yelloween with Veuve
Yelloween?
Clicquot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Veuve Clicquot has like that champagne brand has this brand they created called Yelloween, where bottom line is them just celebrating Halloween with champagnes, different styles.
Because their thing's yellow. Their branding's yellow.
Yeah. And so that was like a really wicked event to do. And then also what we felt was like all the travels that we do, whenever we travel to any major city in Canada, Montreal's, Vancouver's, Toronto's, you see all of these wicked brand parties, and they'd always skip Edmonton. They'd be activated everywhere else, but skip
Not
Edmonton.
yeah.
And then we realized the reason why we're skipping Edmonton was there's never a platform or a group to execute these parties on a local scale. So we, for all this time, wanted to be like that brand.
Where you just have that list.
100%.
So that all of a sudden they
Of
could
those
just...
brands, when Red Bull comes, they're like, yo, who's gonna do this?
100%.
BobbyT and those boys. When this
Well,
comes,
they always throw like a huge party and stuff like that. So it's kind of almost similar to like giving some of those parties to like Harmon B and like
100%.
and like what is it? What are they to like?
Quake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And
Yeah. They're not. I don't
They're
think
not together
they're not,
anymore.
they're not
They're
together
doing two
anymore.
different
Big
things.
Archie.
But like exactly. So we just wanted to work with brands around doing just really cool events and activities, and then also we want to curate our own signature events, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
So like going forward, like some of the stuff that we're trying to do is we're trying to work with brands and hosting, different parties where it's around like from the smaller little intimate stuff of like food tasting or wine tasting or spirit tasting, and you name the alcohol, spirit or cocktail tasting or things like that, all the way down to those like big major celebrations of whatever it may be, like Moet Grande, which is like a champagne party with Moets, or some other events and activities.
Are you still? Is that one of your main focuses still? Or are you moving away from that?
No, that's one of my focuses. So like with Version Me Media, like one of the things we did is we've now taken the brand like Tastemakers Edmonton, and that's like our, I guess you could say like that's like our marketing arm, where whenever we're trying to do events or engage the community or just do something cool that we just want to host ourselves, we kind of work through that as like our outlets.
Yeah.
And also what we had at one point, which also Version Me Media has absorbed, was we were doing a lot of like sponsorships and partnerships. So with these parties that we're hosting, they're always sponsored. They're sponsored through like whatever brand that we're working with, whether it's like Belvedere, Hennessy, Moet, Veuve Clicquot. We'd also try to get like and work with other different brands, like car brands like Lexus, or whoever else is interested. And then we try to help them, bottom line, fund the experience that we're trying to create. But then also we wanted to like get complementary brands to enhance that little experience, whatever it may be. Because like when we all go to a party or event, yes, when you get through the door, you meet some people and faces, but you have to like do stuff in there to engage people. So like one time in the old CQA building, which is across from Shaw, which is that now was that
Rebels.
building
Yeah.
now.
There's like that's a cool little spot too.
Yeah, on the top part there, they also had like at one point in time before that marketing company was up there, they had a rooftop. So we wanted to host like
That's where that was. I was wondering. I seen pictures. I'm like, where's this rooftop?
yeah, so we
sick.
wanted to host a party that was like a cigar party, but then also there was that legislation you can't smoke indoors.
Even if it's on the roof.
So you can smoke outside and anywhere, outdoors, on the roof, but then inside, we wanted to continue people who were smoking. So to paint that aesthetic, we then teamed up with this local, I forgot the name of this company, but it was like an e-cigarette company that also did e-cigars and everything. And so we had this, like it was a different experience where we had the beginning of the night, everyone can go upstairs to the rooftop, smoke some cigars.
Some real
have
ones.
some cognac. We teamed up with Remy Martin, and it was really cool. Yeah, it was a really cool experience. And we teamed up with a local cigar company that gave us a whole bunch of cigars. And then sure, inside the party, you can have more Remy Martin in terms of drinks, and then you just had these like e-cigars to paint that same aesthetic and feel around the whole event. So we try to create what we call memorable experiences around these parties to that aesthetic, and then we program the room for like cocktails, drinks, food, and then sure, whatever other entertainments there is around it.
Dude, you're that dude. I think that's so cool. Like I love like that's cool because there's like Edmonton's kind of whack when it comes to. I'm not hating on him, but it's like yo, like there's other like cities that are blowing like a New York party. Like there's just bigger metropolises that are like yo, this shit's dope. Like
100%.
San Francisco and like there's crazy parties that happen here. But
100%.
you and your company are the one dudes or the one group of people that are bringing that.
Yeah, I don't
shit
know how many
here.
people are throwing parties.
No
out
one
here.
else is doing that shit.
Yeah.
No, and like that.
Must
I
be
mean,
sick.
that was like our whole goal and mandate, and then just our biggest obstacles. I mean, they're super expensive, right?
Yeah.
And there's been a few other people who've done some cool stuff. Like one comes to mind. There's this awesome golf individual named Jordan Jetski who has this thing called Golf Society. So he was able to rent the River Valley downtown.
He had a
Golf.
Canada Day thing.
Yeah, so every Canada he rents that place out. He sets up a whole bunch of like bottle service tables and like lounges, has all these speakers out there in terms of like having like good music, good parties, and he just invites and like everyone there fucking there's golfers and there's a whole bunch of people who are just average people who are just doing whatever they're doing, and there's people who suck at golf like myself. Yeah. And then people are just going down there to the driving range just going at it, having fun. So like events like that are more experience based are cool. And it's kind of modeled after like Top Golf. I don't know if you guys have ever been to it where same principle. It's like a whole bunch of people. There's targets out there. You hit them, you don't hit them. Doesn't matter. Everyone's drinking, having fun, listening to music, and just going around the place in a big party around golf.
Yeah.
And I think events like that are dope. And there's some people who are curating those like on a consistent basis, which are cool. And he also has some like really big plans of doing some other cool events.
Yeah. I've been talking to him, trying to get him on the show, but the guy's busy as hell. I went to school with him actually.
You should
went to school since kindergarten to grade 12.
You should get him on the show.
Yeah, I know.
Like he is an awesome. I'm a fan of his work. I'm a fan of his events, and he's just a good guy too.
Yeah, no, he's dope. He's a freaking brick shithouse. This guy, he's freaking beezled, man. He's always been like that. Yeah, this guy's an animal, man. Yeah, I remember he broke his shoulder one time, and he got stuck in like he was in a cast, but it was like from his elbow to his thing, and he couldn't move his head. He was like stuck like this, playing football. Yeah. Anyways, it's just wild that I've known him for a long time. It's just crazy that he's done what he's done, and he's putting on these sick events.
And progressing and stuff like that. Yeah, and then other than that, and the other thing that we've been trying to do around events is then dialing those experiences into like the online world. So we all know that, yes, in 2019 that we all experience everything behind a screen in some shape or form. Whether that's you around...
There's tons of screens nowadays.
No, totally. That's like screens everywhere. So whether that's around like being educated, whether that's around like, hey, like, yes, I would love to go check out that party, but like, to be honest, I'm just busy, no money, or I just... didn't have time to. So we're trying to like now create like these events in the same fashion that when we're doing these branded parties, like how do we educate people or get them engaged so that when we are going to do a major event, they're at least, intrigued or want to go check this out. And so we're going to be doing these like little sessions that I'm going to relaunch and package called Behind the Bar, where we showcase like bartenders, mixing drinks and talking to people about why these drinks are here or why these cocktails are here or what's this spirit about or what this product's about around that culture. And then we're going to play that into like every niche there is, whether that's bartenders,
Behind the
DJs,
whatever, behind the booth.
100%.
Oh, I got you on that one.
100%.
But there's your content right there. You got to make sure you cover those. And
Yeah, totally. The kitchen too, with all the chefs.
In the kitchen.
that's the name of your show. Behind the what?
What do you mean? Behind the what's the name of the show?
Yeah, behind the what?
Behind the what? No, totally. Just throw it whatever that next
Whatever
subject
the next
is.
subject
Yeah,
is.
that's
And then all of a
sick,
sudden you got
actually.
episode 1, 2, 3. Just keep doing that.
Dude, you're pushing the shit, dude.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly impressed. That's
So
freaking dope.
so we're just so we haven't done that except for we've done about now 12 episodes of Behind the Bar, but that's gonna be sort of the next chapter of like how do you then build these experiences into a digital part that I can I can digest and like engage, and then if there's an event happening, come to the event. If you don't want to come to the event, okay, don't come to the event. Because one of my biggest disconnects that I hate is I hate selling and promoting events. That is my biggest pet peeve of event because like I don't know, like in a world that everyone has so many options to go eat, drink, celebrate, you name it, festivals, like it's hard. It's like sometimes like pulling teeth to get people to come to events. And so now I'm trying to like reverse that so that, if you want to come, come. If you don't want to come, don't come. But this event's going to sell out and it's going to rock and it's going to be dope, it's going to be wicked, and it's going to have the right people in the room. But if you don't come, you don't come. And if you do come, wicked.
I love that because selling events is a big bitch and you feel like a used car salesman.
100%.
And you're just looking at people's dollar signs. Come on to the event, man. Yeah,
Well,
it'd be dope to have you there. You're just seeing him as a $50
I think
sign.
you have to change the view of it, right? Instead of like saying like come check out my event, it'd be like we're throwing a sick ass event. So if you guys want to come, make sure you sign up early because it's gonna sell out really fast.
Totally.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's part of the challenge too, because usually like anyone who hosts events or promoters, it's just funny how like we all have those friends. They only come out of the woodworks is when they have an event on deck. They're like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, hey, I got this event coming up. And
You
like
want
that's,
free tickets?
Yeah.
And,
Can you get me in the side door?
Or they're just trying to like sell their ticket on you versus like talking to you about stuff. And so
Oh, yeah.
this is why we're creating these other means to engage people so that then, like I said, if you're interested, come. If you're not,
Builds the rapport first before just getting hit up. Yeah, there's those dudes that just
100%.
they only hit you up when they have an event or like they're an artist and they only hit you up when they have tickets to sell.
100%.
Yeah, and it's just like you phonies. Get
the
out of here.
100%, like you don't care.
My whole DM's filled up with that. Hey man, I'm doing this show, $20 at the door.
Hey, I was thinking about you. You should come. And I'd be like,
Yeah.
I haven't heard about you for months, and now you're throwing a party, and then you want me to pay money to go to it. Thanks.
Totally.
Thanks,
totally.
man. I appreciate it.
And
yeah.
then we also here in Edmonton, because we're such a hyper connected 1 degree separation. Everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
We all know the same people, and there is a sense.
Yeah, you can't burn your bridge at all,
Well,
man. You'd be in trouble.
you can't. But then there's also a sense, which is weird, that hey, I should just give me a ticket. Just give me a ticket for free to come in. And then people sort of lose and don't understand, like, okay, well, I need to sell tickets in order to keep doing these events. And that was something that we struggled with a lot doing these events. We had to learn the hard way where, like in a city that everyone's connected, everyone's 1 degree separation, everyone's friends with someone else.
Yeah.
Like, where do you draw that edge? That is also too like an age thing.
Double the price on the door. Double, like full double.
Edmonton's kinda whack
because
with
people
some
do
things,
like,
man.
$30 and $35 at the door. I'm like a straight out double. $30 if you buy pre-buy,
Totally.
60 at the door. And like you sell it out, and then people come to the door and they be like, yo, I didn't
Totally.
buy my ticket. I'm just like, it's packed. I want to go inside. They'll pay it, man. I'm just like,
100%. And
they'll
like,
learn their lesson. They'll buy it up front next
I
time.
keep telling people like I'm looking for the day that like once when I like truly 100% sell at an event, like with a big smile, I'll be at the front of the door like sold out.
Oh, how good would that feel?
Sold out, can't come in. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Just
Just hold the list and just be like, are you on the list? I'd be like, no. Here's my card. Next time you want to come to an event, get on the list.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And I'd be like, yes, that would be the perfect world. But that is also hard too because, we all have those homies. We all have those good friends that
Those homies that just like
that-
twist
that-
your arm, make you
and then
feel really
and
bad for
you
not
kind
coming.
of like have to do it because like they're your childhood homie, but then like you don't have to, but then you have to, And we also have like the same respect and relationship with like. There's a lot of people who like treat myself really good in the city, where just like come in, no line, no nothing. I could never, like hold them out to something like that. So those are like the
Just put their name on the list.
Sometimes you have too many people like that. Where do you draw the line of who do you cut out or who do you let in?
At that point, that's
Good
when you just
question.
don't stand at the front door.
Yeah, that's what you just did.
You dip inside and then you leave the bouncer up there who doesn't know anybody. He doesn't give a shit.
100%.
Is your name on the list?
No,
And then your phone is off.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? Just turn your phone off.
You gotta turn your phone off.
You have to turn
That
it
is
off.
the next trick. Is like, yeah, phone's off. Do not answer any text.
Yeah,
messages.
because he can't. Otherwise, if you answer that phone, what are you gonna?
And then another person's gonna call, and another phone call. Like, oh, but can I still get tickets at the door? Oh, can I do this and this? So those are like the obstacles. The only thing I would say, because I truly hate event planning, but event planning has
That's what you do.
oh
No, but he loves the event.
Yeah.
It's like
but I do love the event.
You love the adrenaline, the whole thing.
But like event planning has made me such a better marketer.
Yeah.
Because there's no better. Events are the pinnacle of like marketing.
Yeah.
Like
Getting the people actual there.
100%. Getting it once they're there physically and you're engaging them or something, then yes, that's the dream. It's just the most expensive, time-consuming thing to do.
Yeah.
BobbyT, tell us about Fire Festival. I'm joking.
I haven't seen. I have not.
Oh,
seen
you
that
haven't
doc.
seen it?
Everyone keeps on saying
We're
you gotta see this doc.
talking
you have
about
to
it.
watch
We're
it. You
talking
have to
about
watch
like
it.
we should throw Fire Festival.
Dude, I think I can do it.
Of what? Like just tricking everyone and taking all their money?
No, no,
Like,
no, like actually do it.
They fuck.
No, we can't say this.
Okay, yeah.
Because this is something I'll actually do.
Yeah,
BobbyT.
we're gonna
like
actually
you
do it.
watch,
We'll talk
watch,
to you after.
Okay,
when we
watch
turn the
Fire
cameras off.
Festival and then come back to us and be like, yo, I think we can do it.
So
like,
I'm curious. Do you think ideas, if people know, are you scared people steal ideas?
not steal them.
No. The ideas don't. You don't come up with an idea.
Totally.
You just manifest it. They pop up in different spots at the same time. It's
Yeah.
like Tesla's thing. What was like Tesla came up with a bunch of ideas that someone else came with at the exact same. Like they pop up in the ether at the same
But
time.
are you worried about people stealing them and running with them?
Well,
Like,
it
just
it
don't
doesn't
run.
matter. It's whoever runs with it.
Yeah,
it's whoever
because
runs
like
with
I think no one runs with ideas.
No, they don't.
Like,
And it's not even always the first to market that does the best. It's
Totally.
the second and third guy in market that does the
100%.
best.
That's what I'm
'Cause
saying
they
with
just
this
walk-
fire thing. We can still do
So
it.
you still
Because he fucked up for us. And then like, yo, this
we
is what
saw all
you
the
don't do. This is what
mistakes,
you
man.
do.
We saw all the
he
mistakes.
had a lot. Actually, I really want to watch that documentary, but he had a lot of money behind him. Like
They messed
like,
up.
That was smart to get all those. Like he
No,
was,
they didn't even need a lot of money. They were doing the festival before. You need to watch this. They had the festival with all their promotions.
yeah,
like
which
their
was
promotional
through
videos
those,
was a
it's through
festival.
those. It's through those influencers.
Yeah.
Because their biggest one that they spent.
Why do they waste
was,
their time with everyone else?
Well, and everyone's influences someone. But like I remember, I forgot how much. What's her name get paid? It was like
Kylie
140K.
Jenner. I think it was kind
Or one of them.
Is that still on their Instagrams? Like if you scroll down, is there gonna be a
No.
big orange square on their
No,
thing?
I think they deleted all that stuff once they run that little term or agreement.
Yeah.
But like I think it's all we'll just sure if you could find those hyper crazy influencers involved. That's,
I think
Well,
I think
you got Mark. You got Mark on speed dial.
let me just dial him
Yeah,
up
give
real
him
quick.
a shout and be like,
Hey, can you just put this out across face? Could you imagine if you did have like the master like
the
key to do
mask? They have
They
to.
do, they
He has-
do.
He
Oh, I
could probably
know,
put
but
it
like
across
Google,
his
like
phone.
how Google all of a sudden has like they changed the logo and all of a sudden it's on everyone's web
Totally.
browser,
a
right?
master status
Can
update.
you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine if you had access to that? Oh man, that'd be power.
The marketing
to
would be
hit
nuts.
all billion people. That's
In
all-
one-
Everyone in the world, like that's some serious marketing power. Where all of a sudden you can like say if
Whatever.
you got pissed off at Apple for some shit and you just said Mark Zuckerberg goes, all right, Tim Apple. Those
guys are so badass.
Here we go. Boom! Everybody knows now, right?
Everybody knows.
man.
Dude, that's so sick.
No.
Yeah, I don't think people. I say when I say like, hey, don't say this. I say it kind of jokingly. Like I'm not coming in like a fear mindset because like in all reality, I'm probably not going to throw a fire festival. Like that's not my main objective in life. It's like half serious. Like okay, we can't give away every idea that we possibly have.
No, 100%.
But it's also like it's partially joking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just
No,
kinda,
totally.
Yeah.
So like that. I mean, through all like events, like I said, events is just the arm of, in my opinion, marketing.
And that's Version Me.
So Version Me Media is just
Version
like
Me Media.
is the company that
Yeah.
we work with other different groups doing like their marketing or managing their like social medias or building brands accordingly around with this whole digital age that we're in.
That's dope. And then you're taking on clients and doing advertising for them and stuff.
Exactly.
Is there any place that we can find you at? So you can tell the camera here. This guy died a little while ago. So yeah, no, we just let it
I
die.
mean, on all major platforms.
As Version Me Media or as BobbyT or
Both. So there's like Meet Version Me. Search that on anything, you'll find us.
Version.
Meet Version Me.
Meet Virgin.
Version.
Version Me.
Version Me.
Meet MEET
Yeah.
Version Me. Okay.
On any platform.
On
you'll
any
find
platform.
us.
Yeah.
And then just BobbyT.
Just
Anything.
BobbyT.
Just Bobby T.
JUST BobbyT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not BobbyT.
Because people are gonna look Bobby T. Yeah. It's just Bobby T.
You know what's so funny about this is I was just tagged you in our Instagram story,
Yeah.
and I tagged at BobbyT, and then it doesn't pop up. It's
No.
just BobbyT.
Just BobbyT. You gotta add that acronym.
You gotta add the just.
phrase,
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
That's
funny.
awesome. That's
So
awesome.
that's your personal brand then.
Yeah, that's
okay.
my personal brand.
Last
so
thing
sick.
before we finish it off, books. You got any special books?
Special books. What book
what are
was
you
I
reading?
reading? Audio books. Because I'm so into podcasting, listening, and I was just reading.
Dude, I don't even want to cut this off, but I know we have to. But like, I could talk to you forever, to be honest. Like, you're freaking,
Yeah.
you're dope. Like, you're killing it, man.
Appreciate that. Appreciate trying to do different things.
No, there's do or do not. There is no try,
Oh,
BobbyT.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's
Like,
true.
you're doing it. Like,
You know what try actually means?
What?
Not that committed.
I get that. That makes sense. So
Right.
no, 100%. Because either you're doing it or
Or you're
well,
not.
here's
There's
what
no-
But you say I'll try, it's just like I'm not really that committed.
that's so true.
someone pointed out to me like this: try and touch your nose. Either do or you don't. You touch your nose. There is no like.
Yeah.
I don't know
There's
if
no
I-"
halfway. Like
There's no halfway,
either I
like-
did it or I didn't do it. That's so true.
Yeah.
But anyways, good book that everyone. So like I'm right now just in like sales mode.
Yeah.
And awesome book that's called How to Sell Your Way Through Life. Wicked book.
By who?
Old
Do you
school.
know? Like old school sales.
Old school sales.
Yeah. That's
By
Brian Tracy.
By Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Napoleon Hill is the one who wrote that
Think and
famous
Grow Rich.
book, Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
He also had one that's strictly about selling. Awesome book. 100%. He, as a writer, is
dope.
like, I don't know what world he was in, but it's like even more relevant today than it was probably back then, which is insane.
Yeah.
Dude, he
And we're in
yeah.
a different universe.
yeah.
Compared to back then, like totally different universe.
Yeah, I know.
And it's
crazy.
super relevant. So like, as I'm like always trying to like, maintain how to sell, how to build relationships, how to connect to people better, I'm always reading, always diving the books.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so sick. What's the name of the book again?
How to
Sell Your Way Through Life by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
That's how you're doing it. That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey,
That's Bobby T.
I guess we got to close it up. We're approaching the 2-hour mark here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It goes so fast. Isn't that wild? I didn't even think it was 2 hours.
Oh,
Yeah.
cow, that's the stream died on me. I guess I was streaming too long.
Yeah,
You should use the Wi-Fi.
I was on the Wi-Fi.
It was
Okay.
on the
Okay.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'll poop out after a certain while. Yeah. And I don't think we're on the level to have 9-hour podcasts yet.
No. Even with the Alex Jones ones, the guy's like, "Yo, man, this is 4 hours. We got to shut this down." The guy's like, "Yo, this is the longest one you've done. As longest one you've done. No, the longest one I did was 6. Go, oh, we can keep going."
But I'm definitely gonna have you guys out on the podcast.
Yeah,
too.
definitely, man. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna show up for sure.
How do
man.
the people find that podcast? Just BobbyT, and they'll figure out you got a podcast, or it's like 360 BobbyT, or
Yeah, 360 by just BobbyT.
yeah, okay,
360 by just Bobby T.
cool. Awesome.
Nice.
Well, hey,
All right.
BobbyT, thank you for
Thank you
coming
very
on.
much, man.
No,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Dude, that's so sick. Dude, thank you for
Appreciate
coming on
everything.
board. Ladies and gentlemen, BobbyT, Steve
Boom.
Van Diest, peace out. See you
Peace.
guys.